whole time. Am I centered now? Yeah.
Yeah. I was born for greatness. Greatness.
Great. Yeah. Oh, I can't wait to retweet this stuff. This is my favorite part of the day.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta get all the eyes on the show. All 2 of them. Just kidding. I learned that there's more than 2. Oh, I hit 300 followers yesterday. Big day.
Ooh. Big man on campus.
I don't think 300 is necessarily impressive, to be fair.
People are calling to cancel Travis Scott, apparently. Interesting.
Oh, because people got ran over at his fucking concert?
Yeah.
I don't think that's his fault.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the situation.
Does it sound good? Should I get closer?
Yeah, just put the entire microphone in your mouth, I think.
I'm good. I actually rather not.
I actually rather not have that on camera.
Oh, I forgot Leo Rush is wrestling this week. Let's go. God,
on Wednesday?
Yeah, AW just, give me what I want. This motherfucker really just posted every match that's happening this week. This is hilarious. Eddie Kingston's hilarious. Bryan Danielson versus Rocky Romero. Because why not?
Dude, that's going to be great.
It's everything that involves Bryan Danielson. It's going to be great. That's where I am at mentally. I'm going to knock you down.
We got a jam-packed show today. So jam-packed. We're gonna keep it going, keep it moving, keep it going.
No promises.
My run sheet was like, you got it says 3 hours.
Oh no.
Because it was like, well, so we might blow through some things.
We just need to give enough time for Full Gear.
Yeah, I think at the
end of the day, that's the only thing people care about.
I think realistically, there's a chance we may cut Battle in the Valley.
Oh man, we can't talk about Okada versus Omega 5. I mean Omega versus Buddy Matthews.
Mm-hmm. Stardom Super Wars. I don't have a huge take. So I have a couple takes on things, but I don't have huge takes. Power Struggle.
Talk about that quickly. I think we can make Stardom quick.
Power Struggle we'll easily skip the first 3 matches.
I mean, we could just go to the title matches. Nothing else matters.
Yeah. The roster cuts is really going to determine how long we go.
Yeah. So we should probably start, huh?
Yeah, I think we should probably start. Yes. Okay. Testing. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to turn myself down a little bit. I can't even hear myself, actually.
Oh, good. I'll start.
Oh, I can't hear myself. It's just I'm just super low. Testing. Well, okay, that's better in my ears. I preferred it. I like it loud. I like it loud in my ears for some reason.
I should not have played with the microphone.
Yeah, as we're about to start, you go nutso butso. Testing. Hello, everybody, and welcome to.
I went rogue. Shit.
You're gonna.
That good now?
Yes, good. That's the microphone I had in college, I think, at the radio station.
Yeah, it probably is. I took the one that wasn't in my radio station because it was too dark and gloomy.
Too dark and gloom, as the kids would say.
Just like, this is in my face now. What the frick?
Yeah, if you want to move it to a little. Yeah, I think it's gonna be. We'll fix it. We'll fix it in post. Yeah, that's perfect. Exactly.
Is that good now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Is it good? Okay.
We'll figure it out. You'll see the video and you'll be like, okay, let me adjust it or whatever.
Do I need to go closer?
You're great.
Is this okay?
You ready?
Does it sound good when I'm standing here? All right, I got it. We figured it out. We're good. Back in position.
Yeah, it looks good. All right. I didn't actually check to see if the stream has audio because there's that one time where it didn't have audio and it upset me. Really.
Can you hear this? Can you hear me, Mr. Krabs?
Yes, we're good. We're beautiful. We're beautiful, Mr. Krabs. Let's do the goddamn show. Why don't we?
That is why I'm here. No other reason.
All right. I am going to record it on here and see if that helps.
Greatness.
Okay, here we go. in 3, 2, 1. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ring Post Radio, the only Sunday morning wrestling show on this side of the coast. That's right, we got you covered all the way from Boston down to Atlanta, or else we'll take your ass to Duluth. I'm Ryan Neitzey. With me, as always, is Scotty Edwards. Scotty, how are you doing?
I am doing just wonderful. Well, actually, thinking back on this week of wrestling, I don't know if I'm doing wonderful, if I'm doing bad. There's a lot of feelings going through my head.
Yeah.
But personally, I'm doing pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, no, this was a big mixed bag of a week in wrestling, I would say. There was some good stuff, there was some bad stuff, there was some really bad stuff, and there were some things that were bittersweet, I would say. But yeah, we got a lot to get to. So I say we skip all the preamble. I'm not going to talk about my week. I'm not going to talk about me fixing my dishwasher and how manly I am. I'm not going to be talking about how I went to the gym and I feel manly.
You're doing it. You're already doing it. You're doing the ramble anyways.
Am I? I can't tell.
Oh, well, I could because I was waiting for you to stop, and it just kept going on and on. But yes, you do look swole. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now you can be little swole. Congrats.
I'm a little swole. No, that's Nicole Savoy. I'll be medium swole. I'll be you
can be mid swole.
Perfect. Ryan mid swole Neitzey. We got a huge show today. We got a lot of stuff to get to, so let's get into it. We have, of course, we're going to be talking about, as you can probably see on the titles, we're going to be talking about New Japan's Battle in the Valley that's happening this Saturday. We're also going to be talking about the show that is going against it, AEW's Full Gear.
I can't believe you just said it that way.
Yeah. AEW is going against New Japan. That's how it is.
Yeah. Isn't the Battle in the Valley don't start till 11 though? Eastern?
Yes, but I mean it's Full Gear, so it's probably
gonna be an hour.
Yeah. It might be an hour, maybe 2, probably just 1, because Full Gear's on a Saturday. They might go long for whatever reason. We're also gonna be talking about Stardom Kawasaki Super Wars, review that show that we all saw, and also review New Japan's Power Struggle. And of course, the big topic today we're going to start off with is WWE had roster cuts for 18 members of the roster. And we're going to get to that. But of course, before we get to any of that, us here at Ring Post Radio want to wish good well wishes towards Jon Moxley and his family. Earlier this week on Wednesday, he went to an inpatient alcoholic rehab center. So you always love someone going out of their own way to get better, to help themselves. So good on Moxley. We all of us here at Ring Post obviously wish him good things for him and hope he gets better.
Yeah, big love to Mox. I think we all love Mox as a wrestler, but more importantly, I think we really can appreciate what he's doing here for his family and himself. So, like you said, sending all the love to him and Renee and all the others. They're moving to Ohio, I saw. Actually, they're moving back to Ohio, which is nice.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to be good for him as well to get out of Las Vegas. And
I mean, living in Las Vegas is not probably very easy.
I can't imagine.
So good for him, good for them. Now we can talk about the other people that
have other things to figure. A lot of figuring out. It was a sad day. It was a sad day for most. It was a good day for 3 people, because on Thursday, after WWE's Q3 earnings call, where they announced $255.8 million in revenue, on track to get $250,000. They also
people that don't know, revenue is money that you earn. That's plus. That's not minus. That's plus.
Mm-hmm. on track to be $1 billion company by the end of the year. They even adjusted their guidance for the next quarter by bumping it up another $15 million. So they're expecting they're going to make even more money next quarter. But, you know, I don't know what the reason that could be. All I know is that shortly after that conference call, WWE released, I'm going to say 19 people. They released 18 wrestlers from Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. And then after the conference call that she was on, WWE released or got rid of, I don't know how it went down, or she left, their own CFO, Christian Salen, who, of course, was on the conference call. She was the CFO. She's being replaced by Riddick, who was the interim CEO of the company over basically the pandemic period. So a lot of people, and this also comes after, I think, earlier in the week, they also got rid of like senior executive vice president of creative or something. Like they're getting rid of a lot of people behind the scenes as well, and upper management. So interesting developments behind the scenes for WWE. But more important, we want to talk about, of course, are the 18 wrestlers that got cut by WWE that are now back into the free agency pool, have a lot of stuff to figure out. We're going to talk about each of them. There's like news for all of them too, which I think is quite fascinating. But we'll talk about each of them, and we'll talk about maybe potentially where we could see them, if we see them anywhere. If you know, who knows if anyone's going to continue wrestling? It's a tough market nowadays, Scotty.
They are so lucky, and they, as in WWE, not the wrestlers released, that live content is wanted at a premium nowadays, because if not having a live show on your network for 50 weeks out of the year wasn't such a big deal, they would not be able to do all this and just keep moving on. They would not be able to have the creative that they have on television. They wouldn't be able to release talented wrestlers because one man doesn't get it. They wouldn't be able to do any of that. But at the end of the day, they're just a content creating company that happens to have professional wrestling. And if you sign with WWE, you know what you're getting into nowadays. Like you know what you're getting into, and I feel terrible for the talents that were released. I do. But moving forward, because a lot of them, they were young or been there for a while now in these current releases. Moving forward, how do you sign with them and think anything but, yeah, you know what? I could be cut at any moment, because no one in that company is safe besides one man on the talent roster. And he's the tribal chief, so he's the boss. So like,
imagine if WWE released Roman Reigns.
If WWE released Roman Reigns, and he's gonna go make even more money somewhere else, because that's a legitimate star.
Yeah.
But seriously, they are in so much trouble if they didn't have these TV contracts just pumping money into them at all costs. They would be in so much trouble because Vince McMahon cannot make a star anymore. He can't.
You could argue that if they weren't having these huge TV contracts, like, they wouldn't be making the amount of cuts that they are. I mean, a lot of the cuts are obviously due to the years and years of stockpiling people.
Mm-hmm.
It's due to NXT losing in the television and wanting to rethink their entire PC agenda and what they're looking for in wrestlers. And now it's even more so that they had record year last year, and business side, obviously you always want to be showing to your investors that you're a growing company, that you're making even more money every single year. So you, as a business person, as Vince or Nick Khan specifically, you are trying to find ways to increase where you were last year. And having live shows is helping that. Selling merch at these live shows is helping that. But also in a bad way for the wrestlers, cutting costs are a thing. And you talk about people, there have been people here that have been here for a while. There's also people that in this roster cut list that got signed to contracts in February of 2021. They have been in the company since February and they got released. They had to jump and move everything to Orlando and they got cut. March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months later.
There's a serious effort by them right now. And I don't care what anyone says. This is my total opinion.
Yeah.
There is a serious effort to rid that company of everyone that was a Triple H guy. There is a serious effort to do that right now. And no one can deny that. I was listening to a podcast yesterday on my way home from work, and they were talking about, what if Adam Cole stayed? What if they ended up, who knows, making him a manager of Keith Lee, which was the most ridiculous idea ever. Does he also get cut yesterday? Who knows? Who knows what happens? And at the end of the day, that only makes these cuts worse if you think about it. And
in also a weird way, it's like if Adam Cole was the manager and that's what Vince wanted, then maybe Keith Lee and Adam Cole would not have been cut and they would still be
right.
there.
Yeah. It just my one thing before we talk about the wrestlers more than the company.
Yeah.
They have so much talent still. They do. They still have no problems when it comes to wrestlers and want to be wrestlers and talent. They have the numbers still, like releasing 50 superstars and wrestlers, whatever you want to call them, in 1 year doesn't affect them. It just doesn't. But they're releasing multiple people that should be stars.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that is why WWE is falling behind in terms of popularity. And unless something dramatically changes, they are only going to continue to follow behind. If you can't find something to do correctly with Keith Lee, there's a problem.
The wrestling business has always been built on new, fresh wrestlers, right? New, fresh, great wrestlers that we've never seen before. And every time, it feels like nowadays, whenever there's a new, fresh wrestler on WWE, they get jumbled up. And I think that's also, I've talked about it before. I think that was part of the issue with NXT before, is that we would see how great they are on NXT and fall in love with them, and then forget that like when they go to the WWE, they're no longer Triple H's baby. They're now their own thing. That hasn't been the case since like Kevin Owens in 2015, where like there was a plan and we kind of just shifted the character up. Now since then, it's been for the past 7 years, Vince is going to toy with it and do his thing. But let's talk about these wrestlers individually and give some thoughts. I have notes also on all the news, all these wrestlers as well. So we got, of course, like we talked about, Keith Lee. He's the big one, I would say, out of all of these people. Great, solid NXT run. He gets called up to the main roster. It's, his gimmicks and character are changed constantly. His wardrobe, his theme music are changed constantly. So one could argue Vince never seemed happy with Keith Lee, or at least he felt the need to constantly change things, like adding a potential heel manager in Adam Cole and a bald-headed Adam Cole. Don't know why that was an idea. Gave him the Bearcat gimmick that Keith Lee, after being released, says that wasn't his idea. Also, should be noted that Keith Lee just came back after fighting COVID for like 5 months. So, the guy just came back to the company. And on top of all of that, he gets released. And according to WWE sources backstage, Keith Lee allegedly had quote unquote attitude issues. So
that means he hated stupid creative, because Bray Wyatt also had attitude issues. Like, this is WWE sources.
Yeah.
So like, why are we supposed to believe that they, in their opinions of a released guy, like, why would we think they actually liked him? If they liked him, he would still be there. Keith Lee is a man who was seen by Triple H and, a lot of the wrestling world, this isn't just a Triple H thing, as the right man to become the double champion of NXT.
Yeah.
No one else did that. He is the one that beat Adam Cole. Let's not take that lightly. In NXT, that's like beating royalty in a sense. Keith Lee is a guy that the moment his 90 days are up, he is going to go and become a star all over again. And that's going to be AEW. Like, there is one person on this entire list that I know is going to AEW. It's Keith Lee. They have nobody that's like Keith Lee. You know why? Because there's only one Keith Lee. And they tried to change that. So I can't wait for him to be Keith Lee again. He is one of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites to watch. What he did in NXT was make believers, I think, out of everyone. You know, he wasn't always on top in that brand, but he worked his way up. He had incredible matches with Dijakovic, even if they did, a million of them. He had that match with Adam Cole. He had the moment. He had the star-making moment, the one star-making moment that we've had in front of a live crowd in over the past 3 years. And that was that Survivor Series, SmackDown versus Raw versus NXT, Keith Lee versus Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Keith Lee gave it his all. He hit the Spirit Bomb, one of the best near falls, WWE's probably seen in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, he lost to Roman, but that was okay. They share the fist bump, and you're sitting there and you're like, you can't mess this guy up. You can't. You have the fans that are on your main roster show, the Survivor Series fans, those are more casual fans than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
We're behind this guy.
And remember how much of a bump NXT got in the ratings because of that whole storyline?
Yep. And then, they lost to AEW, and Vince said, all right, let's get rid of them. That's pretty much what happened. And thinking NXT was going to be AEW was the most ridiculous thought in my mind, because the Elite have their own fans. Like, they have their own group of fans. And they were always going to go there. And I don't think NXT was very good for a long time there. I'll admit that. But, blaming AEW's success on pretty much Triple H, like, that's how Vince McMahon clearly sees it, because he's absolutely destroying everything Triple H made.
Yeah. Which, by the way, where is Triple H? I know he's recovering from
He had his cardiac events.
That was like 2 months ago. Is he still?
No,
We haven't heard anything from this man.
Probably crying in his house, like that all of his NXT champions are gone.
That sounds meant to be a dig on like Triple H. No. I'm like genuinely concerned. Can we get any sort of update? You would have thought maybe at the investor call that someone would have been like, "Hey, where's this high-level executive that was running this division that you're rebooting? Where is this dude? Where the hell is this guy?" But yeah, sorry. Go on with Keith Lee.
He is the guy that is undeniable. He's limitless. That's literally what I cannot wait for his debut in AEW. Like, there's so many things that I start thinking about, because usually for me, I don't see a wrestler leave and think, oh, he's going to AEW. Like, that's just not what I do first, especially with these releases. That's just not something I've been doing, because you just never know what they want to do, because they've had backgrounds elsewhere.
Yeah.
Keith Lee is the guy that I'm like, well, here's what he is going to do. How do you debut Keith Lee? Do you have him come in and just be the monster that he should be? Yeah, that's exactly what you do. Do you have him answer a TNT Championship Open Challenge against Sammy Guevara and have him murder him in seconds? Yeah, that's what you do. There's so many great avenues for Keith Lee in AEW. And I can't wait for him to be a star all over again, because, the last year has been a lost year for him. He beat Randy Orton at that pay-per-view that I can't remember. Payback maybe. Yeah. He beat Randy Orton. I was like, okay, they're doing something. And then I don't know what happened. I really don't. I don't know what happened. He got COVID, but, I can't blame WWE for that. Like, I can't blame.
Well, maybe
I can't. Oh, I can't blame the health problems. Like, that was just a scary situation. He had to be out.
Yeah.
So in that aspect, I understand why he wasn't necessarily pushed. But when he came back, I don't remember when he came back, but when he came back, people wanted to see him. People cheered him, and they just, they took him off TV. Maybe he wasn't ready, but they took him off TV longer than he probably needed to be to make him a cat. And to me, that tells me all I need to know about the WWE creative system. I can't wait to see what Keith Lee does moving forward. He is, he's that guy. He's that guy that you follow. There's always some wrestlers that people follow.
He has a presence. There's a presence about him. The confidence, the swagger that he has when he walks into a room. It is infectious. It is undeniable. He would be a perfect, I completely agree, he would be a perfect fit in AEW. Because you're right. They don't have anyone like him. The closest is maybe Miro, but Miro needs that foil of the face to that thing.
Oh, big, meaty men slapping meats.
And then give me the dream. And then put Keith Lee in New Japan. Oh
my God, he'd be world champion in 2 days. Like Bob Sapp was world champion back in the day, baby. And Keith Lee's a lot better than Bob Sapp.
Let's keep it going. Nia Jax is also, I would say, moving on. The top female announced. The news that came out of this one was very interesting. The New York Post reported that one of the reasons she was released was due to her vaccination status of being unvaccinated. Nia Jax didn't necessarily deny that, but she said that her vax status never came up when she was released.
Tell her that.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't know how New York Post found out that there was like one person. And how they found out Nia Jax's vaccination status. That seems weird to me. But according to her, her vax status never came up, necessarily denying of whether or not she is vaccinated. But she's just saying when she got fired, her status never came up. Of course, the word around town is budget cuts. Except that Nia Jax says that she was on an approved mental health leave. And was, when that leave was coming up to an end, they said, okay, cool, here are your dates for November 15th when you come back. She asked for an extension instead because she said she wasn't ready yet. She heard nothing from WWE management or whoever's talent relations, I guess. And then she asked for the extension allegedly on Monday, according to her. And then days later on Thursday, she was cut. So she has no idea what the reason exactly is. She was told budget cuts. No one knows. But Nia Jax released also from WWE. Former Raw Women's Champion.
Okay, I'm gonna pick my words carefully here. I feel bad. First off, I feel bad, with the mental health stuff. This is a podcast that, we've talked about it. We very much care about people that go through these tough times. So right off the bat, I feel terrible that Nia was going through this. I feel terrible that, she was met with nothing in terms of, being told what's next.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's the other side of she wasn't vaccinated. She's been very vocal about this on social
allegedly.
Media. Okay, whatever. Yeah,
our lawyers are standing by.
Yeah, okay. Allegedly, she's not vaccinated. Allegedly, all those posts about God being God's hands instead of I'll act like none of that happened. Nia Jax was never very good. She was. I'm not going to lie to you. She was never very good at wrestling. She hurt a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
She was lazy in the ring. And that's just the truth. Am I going to miss seeing Nia Jax in a wrestling ring? No. But at the end of the day, I don't like seeing people lose their job. I don't like seeing people go through mental health problems and then lose their job. So At the end of the day, I feel terrible for Nia Jax, even if I wasn't a big fan of Nia Jax.
Even if I'm not a fan of Nia Jax nor her vaccination status.
Right. Like there's only one person on this list that I'm like, all right, goodbye. See you later. That's not Nia Jax. Dealing with the mental health, I'm happy they gave her the time to do that.
Yeah.
But it's sad that it ended this way. and I don't think anyone expected it. So I don't even know if she'll keep wrestling. I mean, she's a big enough name for a promotion like Impact or something if she wants to go that route. I don't see her, going to AEW or anything.
I feel like Nia Jax has Braun Strowman syndrome.
That's what I was thinking.
Where she's a big name, but she's got a lot of like baggage, like Braun Strowman, where it's just like, well, we can bring them in, but then there's a lot of this other stuff, and it's like, there's like liability. I mean, let's say she's not vaccinated, right? A different, we're seeing that in the NBA, NFL, all these other places. Even in wrestling itself, it's different states have different rules when it comes to vaccinated individuals. So having her be unvaccinated makes things more difficult in different states. Where at a certain point you just like don't want to book them for that one show, so it's like you don't have to deal with it. And now you have to work around one individual.
4 actually, allegedly, supposedly.
Yes, 4 or 5. I thought the number was 4 to 5. So who the hell knows? But so yeah, it's like they're a good name, but they have baggage. I would kind of maybe argue that Nia Jax probably has more baggage than Braun Strowman.
They're not very good.
Yeah, they're not like super great. You can maybe fix it, right? There's a potential that you could fix it. And they're different. They're a different look, different style. It's something to add. It's definitely another card to have in your roster. But like I said, there's that weird sort of like Braun Strowman baggage where you're like, what could we? Is this a good idea? Yeah. So I don't see AEW. An Impact I could maybe see. Can I give you a good one that I would maybe just lump it together? I would think she would fit great in WoW, honestly. I think
that's a good one. That's actually a really good one.
If we're looking for more women's wrestlers in WoW, Nia Jax would not be bad, I don't think. Actually, I think she could do fine there. I think
there's not many, game-changing wrestlers on their current roster, so and they like problematic things.
Yeah. So I
nuclear, I'd even say, but Nia Jax isn't nuclear. There's only one nuclear human being. And that's I'm not talking about this anymore.
Karrion Kross was the other name released, unrelated to anything that we talked about earlier. Andrew Zarian reposted it on top of Jax. 3 or 4 more wrestlers will let go because of vax status. I'm just saying unrelated to Karrion Kross. Kross allegedly. I don't know anything. I'm just saying. I'm just bringing.
If you toss that in there, you're safe.
I'm just bringing it up here now for no specific reasons.
Of course.
Because I don't know anything.
Just toss Scarlett in here. Like they were both released.
We'll toss Scarlett in here as well, and toss her in the unrelated news. Karrion Kross and Scarlett are both released. Kross, obviously, and the package duo of Kross and Scarlett were pushed to the moon in the audience list NXT, basically literally beating everybody. And then they came to the main roster. Scarlett was without Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross, apparently
Scarlett never got to the main roster, and I still don't know why.
No, apparently the original idea for Karrion Kross was to have him lose by roll up to Jeff Hardy, undoing all of it and burying NXT in the process. And so that then they can introduce Scarlett as like the manager to teach him what to do to get him right on the path. But because audience pushback was so bad or so much, they decided to abandon those plans. Then they repackaged him in this bondage gimmick, which had no Scarlett, which I think, if you're doing the gimmick, Scarlett could still be there. Karrion Kross does not like it. He's even posted online after the fact that he doesn't like it either.
No one wants that shitty helmet.
and apparently word is that they were in the process of repackaging him a third time. along with Scarlett, people in the back have been pushing. This is all according to Wrestling Observer. That people in the back, some people in the back were also pushing for Scarlett to come back. Scarlett, all she's done during all of this time is have one dark match against Shotzi on SmackDown. So yeah, Scarlett has never wrestled in WWE except for that one match. Karrion Kross comes to the main roster and just implodes and explodes.
I got some thoughts. One, I think Vince McMahon is hearing us. And when I say this, I mean, I think he heard that we were making fun of him for liking blondes. And he was like, oh, I'll show them. You know what? I'm going to make Scarlett someone that literally goes by the smoke show. I don't need to explain that Scarlett is a, very good-looking human or anything. Mm-hmm. And she's like, I'm going to just keep her off TV. I'm going to have her wrestle a dark match, and I don't even want her. Like, there is so many things going on here. But I guess the majority of what I have to say is about Karrion Kross. Karrion Kross felt like the perfect WWE guy.
Yeah.
And the fact that he got cut.
Or WWE felt like the best home for him.
It did. It felt like he could be a main eventer there. He had the size. He was, solid enough in the ring. He's not the best. He's not the worst. He was good with character work. He could cut a promo. Everything just felt WWE fit.
Yeah.
Triple H did everything in his power to make him feel special. Play Adam Cole promo. They give you a big entrance and a girl. All I need to do is ring the bell, yada, yada, yada. But they literally gave him everything. They gave him the cool entrance. They gave him his I think they're engaged now. His fiance as his manager, just to add to it. And I thought they were it was a perfect, thing. If that, I can't think of the word, but it all made sense in NXT.
Yeah.
And it would have made even more sense. And I thought when the Fiend got released that this was going to be easy transition. They're going to have a new creepy guy, Karrion Kross, Scarlett, move him right up, cool entrance, everything. Nope. Let's just put a helmet on him, call it a day. If he wasn't NXT champion at the time, I do wonder if anything changes, because I feel like that actually was detrimental to him for some reason at that exact time. Because,
yes. I can agree with that, honestly.
There was a hit out on NXT. There was a serious hit.
And he was the guy holding the belt.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder, if he's not champion, does he have a different career here? Who knows? It's the last one on here that, is very shocking to me. And I don't mean that as a slight to anyone. I just think, the way others have been booked, it was going to make sense on WWE's behalf, I guess. But yeah, Karrion Kross is the biggest what if. I have no idea where he goes. He could go to AEW because they originally wanted him back then.
Did they?
But
did they?
They did. They did. Okay. Supposedly they were in on it. But a lot has changed since then. They've added CM Punk. They've added Bryan Danielson. They've added Adam Cole. I don't think you'd want Adam Cole and Karrion Kross in the same company, truthfully. They have problems. There are legitimate problems that were reported.
And also Keith Lee is available at the same time. You got Ring of Honor guys available at the same time. There's the Fiend floating around there.
I can't even say he can go to Impact, because no, he can't. There was a problem there. Maybe MLW sounds like a place for him. He was there a little bit. That's a potential spot for him, at least for a while. I know he can do stuff in AAA. He did stuff then. I could see them do that. He's probably going to go back to what he was doing, because it is what it is.
MLW feels like the right spot. He has been in MLW before. It's just
Killer Kross is back.
Kross is back. That's the TikTok, baby. I'm gonna put on my red shades.
As is the Smoke Show.
I'm gonna wear leather gloves.
Who tweeted at GCW that she wanted to do a
hardcore bra and panties match?
Hardcore, yeah.
With Jordan Grace.
Yeah, that was with Jordan Grace.
Yes.
And she tagged GCW, and I was like, what has happened? happening? What is happening in wrestling? Oh, actually, there's one more like slightly surprising name, but I kind of want to get through all these. No offense to the talent, but like I just want to move on.
Of course. We definitely need to move on. Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado also going to lump these guys here together.
Grand Metalik and Bryan Danielson are going to have a match that slaps on Dynamite.
Lucha House Party here. AEW could reunite all of Lucha House Party, but I don't think they will at this point. Both guys apparently asked for their release. Grand Metalik, of course, probably spent his day being very thankful. And very probably excited. I'm very happy. It's one of those things that like everyone gets upset about, like the cuts. But you have to forget that like you don't have to forget. You have to remember that some of these people wanted to be released. Like Grand Metalik and Lince Dorado, they wanted to leave the company. So I am happy for these guys. Grand Metalik wants to be out there. I could see him doing well. I would, if I was AEW, I would pick him up. I would, expand that Lucha division a little bit more. But I think if not, you can easily put him somewhere else. With Lince, I think they can work as a tag team still, if they so choose. Grand Metalik, like I said, spent his day probably has to figure out some visa stuff as well. Lince spent his day ready to throw hands, my man.
That he did.
The day after he gets cut, he's like, "Let's go, my man. Let's go."
Yeah. I just want to say we're on the side of Lince Dorado in this conversation, but Grand Metalik, he is a guy that a lot of people have seriously said is one of the best high flyers in wrestling. And that was, when he was going into WWE, he's shown it once in a while in WWE. Yeah. He's the king of the ropes, yada, yada, yada. I'm just telling you, 3 months down the line, when, random Dynamite comes around and Tony Khan's like, you know what? Yeah, let's just toss this on there for fun. Bryan Danielson versus Grand Metalik. I forget what his non-WWE name is. Off the top of my head, because there's something else, but either way, can't wait for that. Just kind of like how we got Bryan Danielson versus Rocky Romero, Bryan Danielson versus Minoru Suzuki. I'm very much just all in on Bryan Danielson lately, so let's just keep giving him all these matches.
And we got a chat real quick. I'm gonna say hello, Sky. How are you doing?
Hi, Sky.
The one issue I could see with Grand Metalik. And we're really talking about Metalik here. Lince Dorado, I think his best chance is maybe stay with Grand Metalik if he can.
I think he's running with indies.
Yeah, I could see Lince is easily going to be an indie guy. I could see, but I think if you want to be a TV guy, I think stay with Grand Metalik. But the one issue I could see with Grand Metalik is his original promotion was CMLL. AEW works with AAA, so he won't be able to do AAA CMLL stuff because if he wants to go back to CMLL, their rivalry is still very present.
No one actually wants to go back there.
I wouldn't go back, but that would be the one thing is that that would be his personal choice of whether or not he would like to go back to CMLL, and if that's the case, he won't really be able to work with AEW. He could, but he would have to avoid all of the AAA title stuff. Or he can stay in CMLL and still be able to work New Japan and go back to New Japan. That could be great too.
That would be fun. Did you see? This is totally off topic, and we really can't go off topic. But did you see any of the MLW War Chamber spoilers?
Yes.
Oh my God!
The show we previewed last week that is unable to be watched.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to spoil one thing for everyone because I don't care. That looks like they're doing Fatu versus Mr. Cobb.
Fatu versus Jeff Cobb? I didn't see that spoiler. Oh, baby.
Yeah.
Oh.
Woo! So Dario, I don't know what Cesar Duran, I think they call him now.
Cesar Duran.
He brought him out as Matanza. Without the mask, though. He just was Jeff Cobb.
You're bringing in Will Ospreay. wait, hold on. Without the mask, so he's Jeff Cobb, but they're just calling him a Matanza?
They just call him Matanza so he could be with Cesar Duran.
No. I get what you're doing, but you're bringing in Will Ospreay. Set it up so you could do Fatu versus Cobb, and then when Cobb has to leave, Fatu versus Osprey. What are you doing? Why are you calling him Matanza and doing your own thing, MLW?
Anyways, I'm sad about Ember Moon. Eva Marie can go after herself.
Let's go one by one. Here we go. Mia Yim, of course, fiance with Keith Lee. After the Retribution stuff, she stayed on SmackDown, was secretly traded back and forth between Raw and SmackDown. They never had any plans for her at all, and then she got cut here. So I think same thing with Grand Metalik and Lindsay Dorado. I would bet house money on the fact that she probably also wanted to be cut from this company because she was sitting around not doing anything. I don't think she wrestled a single match all of 2021 so far, and she won't.
The first time WWE has ever released a champion.
A champion?
She is the up down down reigning champion.
No, I believe Tyler Breeze was the up down champion.
No, he lost it. He's the left right champion.
My apologies, sir.
Come on, there's different belts. Come on.
Yes, the last WWE match that she had was on Main Event, where she lost to Nikki Cross in December 28, 2020. She did not. She legit, and because of her 90-day contract, she is not going to be able to wrestle again until February. She lost an entire year of her career in WWE. She did not wrestle a single match all of 2021. There is no report or rumor about injuries or anything, so the belief is that she just was on the shelf collecting dust.
Awful. Collecting dollars, actually.
That's a good point. That she's getting paid the entire time, so that's fun, I guess. But, if you want to be a wrestler, then, and seems like she's a wrestler, she wants to wrestle. Yeah. I don't blame her. We joke all the time real quickly about how WWE wasting years of people's lives and wasted years of Keith Lee and all that stuff. Legit, straight up, WWE wasted Mia Yim's year completely, and it was so upsetting to see that. But you were saying.
Yeah, I think Mia Yim, Keith Lee, kind of a package deal. I could see her do really good in the AEW Women's Division. I think her and Ember Moon make a ton of sense for that women's division. Ember Moon's, legitimately when she's on, one of the best in the US, and Mia Yim's great. Mia Yim, you can do so many things with. We saw her have that street fight with Candice LeRae in NXT that was really good.
Yep.
She had a lot of good matches in NXT. I know she did some good stuff back in the day at Impact, so I look forward to seeing what Mia Yim does. I've always been a fan of hers, and she could finally, wrestle again soon enough. She can actually wrestle again, which is great.
Yeah, I agree. I think Mia Yim is also someone, if I was AEW, I would pick up. I think more, more women that have television experience, I think is a plus. And talent as well is a plus for AEW. I can see her going other places, but if I was AEW, I would call her up. Same thing, as you sort of already alluded to, Ember Moon. Another person, I think she would be a great hand to have. She's obviously a wrestler's wrestler. She would be another great hand to have in AEW for that women's division, like she, both Mia Yim and Ember Moon, a Soho kind of deal. Ember Moon, lots of stuff in the company. Obviously, she never a champion. She was only an NXT champion.
Well, that's a champion.
Yeah, that's true. She was on the main roster. She was on the main roster for a number of years. Came back to NXT after her injury, and obviously, I don't think anyone would argue against this. With how NXT 2.0 and the PC are heading, Ember Moon does not fit that. Ember Moon does not fit that mold. She is not 23 or 25, I think is what it was. Did you hear that?
Yeah, the 25 limit.
Yeah, for the age limit for hiring women in the PC.
Because that will bring in younger viewers. That is what I read. And I was like, I don't think that's true at all, actually. I don't think, when I'm watching my wrestling television show, I think, how old is this person?
Too old for me. Get him out of here.
I don't think anyone ever thinks that. I don't think people are like, Roman Reigns. He's too old for me. Come on. I don't think anyone just, goes out and say that. See, I can talk about Roman Reigns. We're just gonna keep talking about Roman Reigns.
Look, people loved Randy Orton because of how young he was.
Totally. Yep, that's why. Yeah, totally.
But yeah, Ember Moon, I think she is someone that got wrong. It's the same thing. It's like wrong place, wrong time. She went to NXT to reinvent herself. She has a little bit of an injury bug, but I would say, bring her in AEW at the very least. If she gets injured, she would be a phenomenal coach.
She'd be so good in AEW. Her and Thunder Rosa would be fantastic.
Eva Marie.
Oh, fuck this. No,
we got a bunch of people left.
We're not talking about Eva Marie.
Eva Marie is when we start throttling up in speed. So here we go. Eva Marie. She got hired by WWE. Did nothing for several months. Then they brought her in as this Dewdrop sort of thing. They put her over Dewdrop. Then she left to go film a movie. And then she got cut. I don't think she's going to be going back in wrestling anytime soon. So I think she's just going to go back to doing her gym.
I think this was the end of her wrestling career, which God bless.
God bless. At least we got a finale, I guess. Harry Smith, Davey Boy Smith Jr. Was released. He wrestled one dark match. Count them. One dark match. He had, at the very least,
he had the first live match in front of a crowd when they went back to taping.
Yes, they did.
In front of live audiences.
And he even had like a exclusive interview afterwards. And he was doing all the stuff with the bump. The guy was basically brought in because of the Hall of Fame ceremony, and then he was cut again. I don't know what's going to happen with him. I don't know what's
going to go to MLW, Bloodsport. He'll do all the same stuff he did right before.
Yeah, continue where he was at. B-Fab. B-Fab is an interesting one, of course. Part of Hit Row, a very popular group in NXT. Popular moving into WWE. According to Brian Alvarez, a Wrestling Observer, she signed her main roster deal last week, and then they cut her.
This one makes actually less sense than possibly every other one. Like, I feel like you could see the writing on the wall for a lot of these people.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you why B-Fab was released. Makes no sense whatsoever. She hit Row. She fit in Hit Row very well. I think they're actually going to seriously miss her. I know people were like, well, she's not that great of a wrestler. Hey, guess what? It's called a valet. It's called a manager. It's called just, having a presence, which I always thought she had. They even took her part out of the song. Like,
did they? I didn't even notice that. Did they?
Yeah, they took the beginning out.
One of the best parts of that song is her.
Now it's just like hit row, and that's pretty much the whole song. Yeah, there you go. You got me to sing again. We're just very sad for B-Fab. I do think out of all the people though, she could be brought back, but probably not.
She wasn't that great of a wrestler, but the fact that they signed a new deal. I mean, we heard reports of like, oh yeah, Top Dollar is going to be the leader. Ashante and Scott are going to be the tag team. And we heard nothing about B-Fab. That should have been a red flag for some people. It's now going to be moving forward with groups. Yeah, it's a shocking one. Will she continue wrestling? I don't know. I don't know. But she obviously needs a lot more work if she wants to continue in the business.
She posts videos and stuff. She'll probably go into music, or I don't know.
Frankie Monet signed a contract in February of 2021. She was with the company for 9 months. John Morrison, her husband, literally just moved to Florida from California to Florida to be closer to Frankie Monet, and then she got cut.
I always thought they should have been on TV together. I think that was the potential.
I think that they do their best work together.
Yeah.
Look at Lucha Underground. They were great together.
Sucks for her. She'll be fine though. Like, Taya Valkyrie is a person that wins a lot of titles. She won a lot of titles. If she went to Impact, great. I don't know where else to go. Maybe she goes to AEW because she's a big enough name. That's also possible. I don't think that's out of the realm. I don't see it off the bat. Maybe down the line. I definitely think Impact return is the move for her. But yeah.
I think Impact would be her best spot. I think Impact would be the best thing for her. There won't be anything new for her necessarily. I mean, you got Mickie James, you got the Inspiration, and that would be new for her.
Yay.
But and maybe there might be some more pickups, obviously, along the way. But we'll see what happens. But I think Impact's the safest bet. Oni Lorcan, one half of the tag team of Birch and Lorcan, a great tag team. I were loving these guys. They were one of these guys that were like consistently solid, consistently great. Oni Lorcan, I would argue he's friends of a lot of the AEW guys. If he still has good relationships with them, I could see him being picked up as sort of like a Tony Nese type. Biff Busick. That's all that I care about. Oni Lorcan.
Dude's gonna run wild on the indies. He's gonna have some killer matches. He's already been announced for the 16 karat gold whatever tournament that Jonathan Gresham's in.
Yeah.
He is going to kick ass. I always thought he was like, he's one of those guys who just, he didn't belong in WWE because he was so good. He's just like Cesaro light. And I don't mean to like make that a bad thing. Like that's a very good thing because I think a lot of people look at Cesaro in this high regard, and I look at Oni Lorcan, Biff Busick in a high regard. I think he's just very good, and his next indie run could bring him to an AEW. I don't think there's a fit in Impact. I think the only fit in terms of television wise is AEW, but I could see him go on New Japan Strong too. They've been bringing in guys like him. I mean, I feel like Buddy Matthews is kind of in that same realm almost of like what could be of a great wrestler. He's going to beat some people up, and it's going to be very entertaining.
If it still existed, and if he really just wants to
Ring
do
of Honor.
Ring of Honor would have been a great spot for him. But
yeah, it would have.
We
went over that last week.
I guess he still could work there if he wanted to. Trey Baxter, formerly known as Blake Christian, his girlfriend Cora Jade is still in the company, and he already has announced dates with GCW. I didn't write down when he signs his contract, so let me look that up real quick.
It's like next month. The GCW days. I was actually gonna be mad if they dropped Cora Jade. Like I was gonna be legitimately mad. Because, well, I guess it doesn't matter at the end of the day. But like Cora Jade feels like that person that's gonna get over like organically in NXT. Like you can already see it if you watch any of NXT 2.0, which I don't recommend for anyone because it's pain. But I think she's an organic. She's gonna be an organic favorite. She has that the vibe to her like a Bailey or Dakota Kai has before her. And yeah, but this is of course about Blake Christian. He's going to do good things in GCW. Mm-hmm. He'll probably go back to New Japan Strong, which he was in before he signed. I know he did some Impact too, so he should be fine.
I think Blake Christian, by the way, signed the contract in February of 2021. Again, a 9-monther. He a little baby Blake Christian. I think GCW obviously because he's already got signed dates. New Japan Strong potentially only because they didn't bring back Russ Taylor. So I would like to see him. I think he was doing really great work in New Japan Strong, honestly. And also Impact. I think if it's not New Japan Strong, then Impact I think could also be a good spot for him. As well. I wouldn't be surprised.
I feel like all the people that were like, yeah, well, they could go to Impact. Like that's the just backup option. It's really hard with no more Ring of Honor.
Yeah, it's less fun. Less fun to figure out because it's just like, oh, AEW, Impact.
I guess you could go to MLW.
MLW, I guess. Jessie Kamea. She's been in NXT since.
I have zero thoughts.
She's been in NXT since 2017. She's been in
She was in one of the Mae Young Classics. That's about all I got.
Yes.
Good for her. Moving on. All right.
Yeah, I don't know what she's gonna do.
She dates Swerve.
She dates Swerve. That's true. Zayda Ramir, formerly known as AQA. She's trained by Booker T. She was another 9-monther, signed in February of 2021. She wrestled all of 5 matches in WWE. I think a reasonable prospect. I think a reasonable person to pick up. But she is also someone that is an investment. I think she's got something there. Her shooting star press is beautiful. but she's another investment. So if you want to get an investment, a solid investment, she was getting some looks from Impact. She was, I don't know if she was getting looks from AEW, but if you want to get someone that you want to invest in into the future, Zeta Ramir, AQA would be that person.
Yeah, you said everything that I was gonna say. So
Katrina Cortez, you remember her as Catalina, the luchadora that teamed with Sin Cara that one time,
or the women that fell in love with one of the Viking Raiders in one of their stupid events that they did with the Street Profits. I learned this week.
I'll take your word for it because I don't even remember that.
She didn't have a mask on.
Oh, that's
why.
According to Fightful, Sin Cara said that there was no plans for them to work together after the Andrade feud. Katrina, in a very sad way, also tweeted out that because of this timing, her visa is expiring next month and has to either fix it very quickly after her 30 days are up or presumably move back to Chile, which is where she's from.
Yeah, she has to sell all of her stuff, which is very sad. Very sad situation. Very, very, very sad.
Heartbreaking.
I don't really remember her wrestling, but hopefully she finds a place because we want everyone to find a place.
Or at the very least,
have to sell everything and go home.
Yeah, like what AEW did with kind of like Cesar Bononi is like, we're not going to necessarily like hire you or anything, but we're going to give you a little bit of a spot so that we can get your visa situation under control, and you're not going to be screwed basically, because she's now WWE just screwed her over financially, her life. Really, it's just they really screwed her over on this, and I don't like it. And
WWE does that.
Yeah, they tend to do that. Jeet Rama, finally, we're going to close out with Jeet Rama.
I have no thoughts. Just please. He looked really bad when he got destroyed by Third Uso on NXT 2.0.
Oh, I thought he got
destroyed. Nah, he got wrecked by Uso.
The only notes I have here is he is 40 years old. He's been in WWE he's been in WWE since 2015, so 7 years. His big debut was against AJ Styles at that Superstar Spectacle show for India earlier this year.
Yeah, I didn't watch that.
Yeah, he's a guy. A good point to bring up here is that WWE, or according to Wrestling Observer, the Performance Center is going to do 6-month checks on their wrestlers. So that if they're going to reevaluate you every 6 months, if you don't hit whatever standard they're looking for, or if they change their mind, then presumably you're going to get cut. I think that's part of it. The reason I'm bringing it up here is that part of that idea is so they can avoid having someone on the roster for 7 years, giving them all this money, and them not doing anything or not having any value.
I mean, that makes sense. That just makes too much sense. As a company, you don't want, no offense to Jeet Rama, but you don't want to have this guy on your roster for 7 years that you were literally never going to do anything with.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it sucks for him, and that sucks for him, but, 40 years old, he can, he's already at the age.
I have no idea what he's going to do. We already have given too much time to Jeet Rama. No offense.
Come on, man. It's Jeet Rama. You got to throw some respect and flowers towards the old Jeet miser.
Please don't ever say that again. You probably won't, because we'll probably never review another show that he's on. So continue.
New Japan Power Struggle was this past couple days ago.
I forgot what was next.
What was next?
I forgot what we were talking about next. We just talked about releases for 45 minutes.
Oh, nearly an hour. New Japan Power Struggle was this past week.
This is going over 2 hours, and it has to. It just has to today.
I'm doing my best to keep us moving. New Japan Power Struggle happened. 9-match card. A bunch of stuff happened. We're gonna skip the first 3 matches because they're just a bunch of 6-man tag. I mean, did you watch the first 3 matches?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
So we'll skip
I could not be bothered to watch them at 1 a.m. I'm sorry.
I don't think anyone did, because according to Cage Match, there's only ratings on the other matches and not the first 3. It's just like not enough votes. So people. Hey, Ryan. Yes.
What did we tell the world last week?
We told the world that we would only be watching the 6 matches, and that there's going to be a lot of surprises, and there's going to be some definite title changes on this show. So I think what you're trying to do here, Scotty, is that typically I like to start off when we're reviewing shows with the main event, but I think you want to start off with your main event, your show that you are here for, and that is really the fourth match on the card, the never open weight 6-man tag team title match. House of Torture, Evil, Sho, and Yujiro Takahashi defeating the longtime champions Hiroki Goto, Tomohiro Ishii, and Yoshihashi. So, Scotty, I'll give you the floor.
New Japan has been saved. House of Torture on top. Evil has a belt. Oh, man. New Japan has never been in a better state than it is right now. Thank God. Actually, it was. It was when Evil was, IWGP World Champion. But, this is second best. Thank God, those jobbers finally lost. Goto, you stink. Ishii, you stink. Yoshihashi, you're pretty good. But, House of Torture on top. Everything about this match was great. Dick Togo coming in to rob them of the win last second. They choke him out. They hit. Everything is evil for the win. House of Torture, ladies and gentlemen.
Toru Yano took on Great Okada. Just go straight into the next thing. I like this match. I thought it was a good match, by the way.
It's fun.
I know you didn't want to review. You just wanted more review. Evil back on top, back on mid, I guess.
Did you just call him mid?
He's back.
Did you just call Evil mid? Take it back. Take it back.
Hey, dude, I'm wearing the colors. This
is true. You're repping Evil. I am also wearing purple and black, which is very funny.
And that is also our design of Ring Post Radio.
You know what we need? We need a thing that just floats over my head. The whole thing that says everything is evil.
Yeah, I can add that. I can do that later.
Cool. I
guess I could do that right now.
No, it's okay. It's okay. We don't actually need it. We just need to prologue the show. Toru Yano versus Great O'Khan. This was the first time I've ever watched one of these stupid matches.
Mm-hmm.
This stupid KPOW King of Pro Wrestling Cup matches. This is the first time I ever watched one.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable. That's about all I got. Oh my God, what are you doing?
I'm just gonna put this right here.
I got chirped. I have to go check now. I got chirped yesterday for being happy about Evil winning, but I don't think people understand that is the best thing to ever happen. Oh, I see it. Everything.
It's ill fixed. Don't worry.
Oh my God, it's so. Everything is evil. Yeah, damn right it is.
This match, this King of Pro Wrestling,
should have main evented the show.
This KOPW,
that would be Ishii's first main event. That jobber.
Can I give my hot take off of this KOPW title?
Yeah. Give it to me.
This match undid all of the goodwill Great O'Khan earned up in the G1. Why are we doing this?
The match.
I didn't like the match. I hated the match. I thought it was awful.
You said it was pretty good.
Oh, that's me stalling. No, the match was awful. I hated it. I hated the match because it wasn't a match. Because if you gotta have Yuji Nagata come out before the match and explain the rules of amateur wrestling to the folks, I don't care for this. I want to see actual wrestling.
The match was shit.
And it wasn't even like funny. It wasn't even like a Toru Yano funny match. It was just straight. Like the comedy was that we're doing this for real. And I was just like, no, I'm not.
I have a take, and it's that no one should ever watch these matches.
Well, the Toru Yano Chase Owens one wasn't that bad.
I was not watching a 30-minute match that involved those two men. I'm sorry.
Well, I did. That's all that.
Well, that tells me all I need to know about your viewing of wrestling. That's terrifying, Ryan. You wasted 30 minutes of your life watching Chase Owens and Toru Yano scrap.
I did watch that 2-hour Iron Man match between Tony Deppen and Jordan Oliver at Fight Forever.
That sounds almost just as bad. That's 2 hours. Holy shit.
El Desperado defeating Robbie Eagles for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight title, earning the title right before they go into the Best of the Super Juniors. So intrigued, to say the least.
Which still doesn't have a lineup.
Still doesn't have a lineup. Don't know what's happening
Friday.
Starts Friday. We don't have anything. Hopefully we'll get an announcement soon. Same thing with World Tag League. Maybe it's that they're figuring something out. I feel like they typically announce it at Power Struggle. I don't remember.
But hey, Despy, good for him, huh? I thought this was a very well worked match. Not the match of the night or anything, but I think Desperado worked so well because he's like the heavyweight wrestler of the junior division.
Yeah.
So he kind of has heavyweight matches, which not always better, but I thought this was very good. Robbie Eagles had a nice little reign for himself. He's no longer a double champion, and I have no idea. I guess Hiromu's probably winning Best of the Super Juniors, so they can do him versus Despy at Wrestle Kingdom, which is like been their goal for a while now, I think. Yeah. But I would be more intrigued if we did Show versus Yo in the finals. That would be fun.
That could be interesting. Yeah, I think everyone was sort of most people were expecting Robbie Eagles to win here, and I was also in that same camp, and I was kind of surprised by that. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm intrigued to see where they go. I like that they gave the title to Despy only because then you can have more interesting matches, because then the Despy matches are people fighting to have a challenge for the title. Robbie Eagles is going to show up. Hiromu is going to show up. Doki is going to show up.
Show and Yo, baby.
Show's really good. I love Show.
People are gonna come for your head for disrespecting Yo.
I didn't say anything about Yo. You can't do anything.
Exactly. You said I really like Show, and then you just stopped talking.
This match was really good. I really like the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Title match here. I thought it was really, really good. Shy of a great match to me.
Yeah, I mean, not everything can follow evil. So.
You should look at the stream again.
Jesus.
IWGP United States Heavyweight Title match. Kenta defeating Hiroshi Tanahashi. After the match, Kenta goes and seemingly challenges CM Punk to defend and challenge him for the U.S. Heavyweight Title match. So I like this. I thought this match was great. I love the table spot that Tanahashi Kenta did. That looked awful to take. That bump looked
awful to do.
Kenta's back was all like ripped up afterwards too. But
they showed out.
I liked it.
This was their best match. I think I like this better than both of their. They only have one. I like this better than their match that they had at Wrestle Grand Slam. I thought it was great. That table spot, like you said, was nuts.
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God. I was like, oh, that just hurts for everybody because that's a long fall for Tana. Mm-hmm. And, Kenta just absolutely ate it. Like, the Japanese tables, like the ones that they always use on these shows, mm-hmm. they don't break very easily. And that one just blew up. And I was like, oh, that must have been a clean hit, which, I mean, is a good thing, but also, ow. Very good match. Happy Kenta won. I thought that was a good twist because Kenta has been chasing that title for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think, I love Tanahashi. Would love a title reign for Tanahashi for a very long time. But I think you can do a lot with Kenta as champion. And I think, challenging CM Punk is great. But Kenta's willing to go to the United States because he lives here. Mm-hmm. So, who knows? Maybe he actually will be coming to the U.S. and defending it more than Tanahashi would, which I don't think you should have to force Tanahashi out of his home to defend that title as much.
Kenta is, I would maybe say, a good person right now because of COVID mm-hmm. to have the IWGP US Heavyweight title on, because he is someone that can more fluidly go back between the US and Japan.
Mm-hmm.
He is the guy that, John Moxley obviously wasn't going to go back to going to Japan anytime soon. Hiroshi Tanahashi lives in Japan. Why go to United States constantly? Kenta, he still has the quarantine and all that stuff, which is starting to sound like
3 days now.
Yeah, it's starting to come back, which is good to hear. But it is just like a matter of what he would like to do or what they want to send him to do. Yeah. So I don't think he has anything announced for Battle in the Valley. So I don't expect we'll see him there. He will probably stay, honestly, for World Tag League if that is the case. So I'm intrigued to see. And then on top of that, you have 3 nights of Wrestle Kingdom, and so who the hell knows what we're gonna have Kenta do? Maybe he'll.
Yeah, maybe they do him versus Bryan Danielson.
Maybe they do him versus CM Punk. Who knows? The reason I'm really pushing for CM Punk is that not only that Kenta talked about it in a post promo, the official Twitter account for New Japan talked about it. So like it's one thing that granted it's all social media, it's all fake and all that jazz, but like the official PR team was like, yes, we're gonna approve this as the thing. That's sort of like
intriguing.
Also, on top of that, I should also say Kenta is IWGP US Heavyweight Champion. Kenta versus Shibata at Wrestle Kingdom.
Makes all the sense. It makes all the sense. That was my first thought when he won the title. It's like, because Shibata, works the LA dojo. He's the trainer there.
Yep.
He wouldn't be a bad guy to have the title. I'm just saying, because he's here a lot. And just, if you wanna, just take the chains off. Just let Shibata wrestle. That's what we want. Give me what you want. Nailed it.
IWGP World Heavyweight Title #1 contendership match with the belt. Kizuchi.
You know what I was thinking about?
What's that?
That the best looking title in professional wrestling is simply just a right to something.
Rights to a single match.
Yeah, it made me very sad because I was watching him walk down with it. I'm like, man, that belt's so much better than like all of them. Any belt you think of.
I like how he's only putting it over his shoulder. Like he's not like Like he's like, oh,
this is mine.
Yeah,
this is mine. No one else can touch it.
But of course, Kizuchi Okada took on Tama Tonga in a match. Many people
like
love
how you
this
said,
match.
Of course, it happened.
Of course, naturally.
Of course, Tama Tonga was in a singles match.
What did you think about this match? I, unlike the rest of the world, was super light on it.
It was okay. I think the first half was just there, which
I'm the same
for
boat.
Me. If you're gonna have a first half that's so not stalling, but if you're having
it felt like they were padding for time. It felt like they were padding for time. Like they were knew we were going to go 25 minutes, so let's do the first 10 minutes of nothing.
Right, because I liked the end a lot. I thought the final 5 minutes or so were really good. You know, they were hitting on all cylinders, but the first 15 or so was all right, I understand this is an Okada match. I understand, this is a big match, but there's no need to do this.
Yeah.
There was just no need.
Yeah, it didn't quite feel up to par of what we really wanted to accomplish. And I get it. I understand that we are in the minority of that. I mean, Cage Match has it a rating of 8.2, which is 4.1 out of 5. They're super high. I'm not that high. I did 3.25. I was super low on this, and I understand where I am.
I mean, that's not that low.
I know. It's New Japan low, and it's low to the consensus. But
I did 3.5. So
okay,
close enough. I mean, you and me are closer to each other than the consensus. So
sure. But yeah, I just didn't really quite enjoy this match. And you're right.
I wanted to like it more.
Yeah, me too. I really liked their G1 Climax match. I love that match. I thought it was Tama Tonga's best work in decades.
ever. Singles, though, at least. I thought the G1 as a whole was the best singles work he's had.
This match doesn't deter me from more Tama Tonga singles matches. But it was just like, nah.
He can do it. And I think he hits a very nice splash. That was my big takeaway from this. I was like, man, he hits that nice. He looks like he floats.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He's got that down.
All right, main event time.
Main event time. IWGP World Heavyweight Title match. Shingo Takagi defeated Zack Sabre Jr. in 30 minutes and 27 seconds.
They're pretty good, huh? They're pretty good at the whole wrestling thing.
Who would have thunk it?
I feel like first of all, I feel terrible for Zach. Like, he's king of, hey, I'm gonna beat you in a tournament, then lose the title match after. But did it again. I thought this was really good. Of course, it was really good. I mean, they probably could do this in their sleep at this point.
Yeah.
I think I liked I don't remember rating wise. I might have liked their G1 match a little bit better. And that's maybe because of how Zach won it, which I think is why Zach's G1 runs so much, is because of the way he won, which is kind of what Danielson's doing now, is just winning with all these different things.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was a great match. I mean, Shingo doesn't miss anymore. So
no, I think another notch in Shingo's belt, or a notch in Shingo's resume, another bullet point in his potential wrestler of the year, resume. I think Shingo is obviously the front runner for this year. And I just another match to put in that. It was a great match.
Yeah.
I love Shingo doing similar moves to Zach, back on Zach, like the sort of neck crank thing that they do.
It was likely his last big match of the year.
Yeah,
Tag League and Super Juniors taking over the last month.
Yeah, unless they do some sort of defense then, which I don't think they typically do. No. Especially since it's a combined tour. There's a good shot that this is his final defense before defending the title against Kizuchi Okada and maybe other people. Who the hell knows? We've got 3 Wrestle Kingdoms. Who the hell knows?
They're not really announcing things. We just said how the Best in Super Juniors is Friday, Tag League is Saturday, and they just didn't announce either one yet, unless I missed it. But I checked Twitter, I scoured Twitter, there's nothing on there. So yeah, it's weird because I don't know. For me, when you have a tournament like this, you kind of want to have people excited, and not knowing a single wrestler in it is weird.
I feel like there's something happening, and this is just speculation, obviously. But
we have a tag team.
Wait, what?
We do have a tag team.
Are you looking at Twitter?
Tiger Mask and Yuji Nagata.
Okay.
That is
wait, hold on. Wait. Tiger Mask.
He's not doing
He's not doing Best of the Super Juniors?
No, he didn't want to. I don't know. Who is doing Best of the Super Juniors then? What is happening, dude?
Where did you see that? Was that on the Twitter account?
I just saw it on New Japan Global. I'm trying to find this. There's no one in this tournament.
The tournament's not even happening.
I don't think so. Why would I think otherwise? Did they? Okay, whatever. Just carry on.
Oh, I see the tweet now as well. Yeah. What a weird thing we're doing. So that's Power Struggle. They very quickly go through Power Struggle. We didn't have any deep thoughts about the company or the promotion or any of the matches, but
if you want some more deep thoughts on Evil, here's some thoughts. He is the best. Everything is Evil. I was upset that Kevin Kelly couldn't be in sadness, as he said, everything is Evil. That's one of my favorite parts of the show. So I was very upset he wasn't. They didn't have the English commentary yet for the show by the time I watched it.
Yeah,
and I don't always listen to it, but when Evil's winning, I have to.
I think this just overall was just a good show. Like it was good. Like it wasn't it wasn't anything that was like blow away.
They're slowly building themselves back up.
Yeah.
And now the best of the Super Juniors can either, kill it or help it.
Well, best of Super Juniors will help it. World Tag League may kill it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I hope Evil's in it.
Of course he's gonna be teaming with Yujiro.
If Evil was the best at Battle in the Valley, we were buying one-way tickets to California.
Hold on, one way.
Yeah. Then we're gonna ask if we could join House of Torture.
Yeah, maybe. Shoop.
Just kidding. We're already part of it.
Yeah. Speaking of, I don't have any transition. Let's go into Stardom Kawasaki Super Wars.
Speaking of, I don't have anything. I don't know. We talk about Evil way too much on this show.
Hey man,
just kidding. Not enough.
I changed the graphic.
Oh, you got rid of everything as Evil?
Yeah, I changed the graphic. So let's talk about Stardom Kawasaki Super Wars. Great name for a show. Attendance 906. Pretty good. This took place at the.
I hate you.
What, man?
You also spelled it wrong.
Did I? Whoops.
You did Odeyo Tai instead of Oedo Tai. So,
dang it.
Shame on you. I'm so happy you messed that up. Ha ha ha. Everything is not Oedo Tai. Take it back.
Okay, I'm gonna change it then to what was the best thing about this program. But like we said, it was.
This is gonna feel like an attack on my soul. I already know it. Everything is shared.
Stardom Super Wars. If you're not watching the show on twitch.tv/countout or on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, then you're missing out on some fun.
Did I do something to you? Did I make you angry or something? I just want to know. Because this feels like a crime against me. And you know what? I don't like it. And I don't even mind Mina. But this just feels like an attack on me as a person. I'm going to act like you didn't even do it.
Let's start off with the future Stardom title match. Unless you had any
Rocker won. Moving on.
I was gonna say, unless you had any big thoughts about the Mai Sakura and Waka.
No, we're not talking about it. I asked the world the other day, Twitter, what match should I talk about more from the show? Because I have a certain run time for each match on the show in my head. Sure. I have my thoughts and whatnot. And the main event got the longest amount of time because, of course, but those peasants on Twitter decided, you know what? You should talk about Mai and Waka for an extended amount of time. So what did I do? I did it. And I've already talked too much about it this week. So we're moving on. I've already talked too much about Rock and Lady C now too.
Okay, well, I didn't have any thoughts about Rock or Lady C.
I didn't think you did. I
thought this match was fine.
I figured you didn't have any thoughts until maybe like the last two matches, to be fair. So just
Goddess of Stardom Tag League Block B match, Fukigen Death and Saki Kashima defeating Rina and Hanan. It was exactly what we thought it was going to be.
It was exactly what I wanted it to be, so I was very happy when Rina was like, all right, crime on them. That was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
It was, for me, it was a fine match. I lost points for me because I was like, oh, this is exactly what I thought it was going to be.
Well, you don't look. Well, here's the thing.
Oedo Tai is just gonna.
When you watch certain Stardom matches, mostly Oedo Tai matches, you have to be ready just to try to have fun, because sometimes, a lot of the time, well, actually, anytime Fukigen Death is involved, you just have to expect fun, and that's what happened. So I have fun. I'm not going to say anything about the match itself. It was very there, but it was fun.
Three-way match. Of course, this match was originally the four-way, but then it just got cut into the three-way officially when Konami couldn't be there. It was Mina Shirakawa defeating Maika and Saya Kamatani. Remember, and the reason why everything is Shirakawa, Scotty, is because in our preview last week, I said Shirakawa was gonna win, and guess what? Mina Shirakawa wins. So guess what? That means that everything is evil. Sorry, everything is Shirakawa, baby. So take that, my man.
Oh, God. He got his own gimmick.
I got the victory lap going around the world with Mina Shirakawa. He's Macho
Man. I don't know what's happening. He just went from being a Mina Shirakawa stan to becoming Macho Man in like 2 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Mina Shirakawa gonna snap into a Slim Jim.
Oh my God!
This character's Macho Man is a Mina Shirakawa stan.
The match was good. I'm still relatively rattled that Mina Shirakawa won. I mean, once she won, I knew what was happening, but
yeah, there's a reason why. Obviously, later in the match,
Saya Kamatani has been pinned a lot lately, and when I say a lot, I mean like she got pinned yesterday too. I don't know what's happening. Saya Kamatani's like very high up there, most protected. Now she's just getting pinned left and right. I mean, I know why Micah couldn't get pinned because Micah has a world title match, but like, I don't know. I didn't think Mina was gonna win anyway. So
it felt like
shame on me.
It felt like one of those things that was just like, well, we want to have Mina challenge, and Micah can't be the thing. So I wonder if Konami was in this match, if she would have eaten the pin.
Well,
maybe maybe she would have challenged for something else. Like she would have won and challenged for the Wonder of Stardom.
Well, it feels the need to be said, but Stardom literally booked a match between Hazuki and Unagi 4 days before they both had title matches. So they're just tossing things at the wall and seeing what happens. Saya hit a really cool like springboard drop kick crossbody, which she drop kicked Micah and then crossbody Mina, or the other way around, and that was really cool. And Mina won with the Impaler DDT, or as I like to call, the Mina-cution instead of the execution, because got him, nice. But yeah, Mina's been really good lately, and I'm actually looking forward to her title match, even if the running gag is that Mina won and he's still doing the damn Macho Man thing. Anyways, moving on.
Natsupoi and Himeka take on Kaguma and Mayu Iwatani in a time limit draw, 15-minute draw. I wasn't expecting the draw here. And I was kind of upset.
Wait a minute, did they go to a draw?
Yeah, they went to a time limit draw, 15 minutes. After the match, referee holding both of their arms, and Kaguma has Kaguma has Mayu Iwatani like on her shoulders, and Mayu, like, the referee's holding Kaguma's hand up, and Mayu's like scratching and clawing trying to get to Natsupoi.
I'm pretty sure I had said in my head that Himeka and Natsupoi won until this very moment. I'm pretty sure I said on my Joshi podcast that happened. So now I'm even more rattled. I don't even know what's happening. I think my head's in jumble this week. But yeah, I think I just remember Mayu dying on the powerbomb.
Yeah.
And then I just didn't remember what happened after that, because I remember the powerbomb. I was like, oh, the match must have ended. It didn't. No, Mayu just, she did what she does, and she just took all the pain. I thought Himeka was going to break the ring with the first power bomb. She just throws them down. Like, well, I mean, Mayu's not a very heavy human being. So she's just, light as a feather and just got slammed. But yes, it was very funny that Koguma was like holding the dead corpse of Mayu, and they were like, yay.
I thought this match was pretty good. I'm realizing as the days go on that I'm less and less of a Kaguma fan.
Wow.
It's just not clicking. It's just not clicking with me.
That's like a hate crime in the world of Joshi.
I'm gonna get this.
You're gonna get attacked by the Bear fans.
I'm just gonna get attacked. I'm just gonna get attacked on Twitter now. But I'm realizing that about myself, is that I'm something's just not clicking with me whenever I watch her matches. I don't know what it is. I can't pinpoint it. It's just, I'm just.
Well, it was nice knowing you, Ryan. Good luck. Good luck in the rest of your life.
Instead, I got the Mina Shirakawa Nation on my side, brother.
God. Well, I liked the match. Mayu and Himeka have great chemistry. That's my thoughts on this.
High-speed title match. Starlight Kid versus Momo Watanabe ends in a double countout after 11 minutes and 50 seconds. I was slightly upset that this match went into a double countout right after the match previous went to a time limit draw.
This was the story. This had to happen.
I know it had to happen. I was just upset that, like, in the order of the card, they put these two back to back.
Oh yeah, Stardom don't give a shit about your happiness. When it comes to draws and stuff, they just boom.
But I thought this match was really good, and I'm very intrigued to watch the second match of this.
Oh, it will be coming. Momo chose violence.
Yeah. She
walked out there angry. She was just, not a happy camper. And I was like, this could be bad things for Mina. Not Mina. Fuck you. Bad things for Starlight Kid. It was bad things for Starlight Kid. I feel like everything she hit felt a little harder. Yeah. And that was the story. And I like that they played to the story. And then when Momo started ripping at the mask of Starlight Kid, I was like, oh, okay, so this is like a feud. Like, this isn't just a match. This is a feud that is not ending. I liked the count out finish, which is not something I always say, but it fit very well. And my favorite part was when Momo was smirking after the count out. She was like, yeah, I did my job. I beat the crap out of you. I didn't want your stupid title anyways. This feels like the beginning of something so much bigger between the two, and I'm very excited to see where that goes.
Yes, I thought this was a great match, great work between the two of you. I completely agree that Momo went out and just showed her stuff, kicking off Starlight Kid's head practically every single chance she could get. Starlight Kid also looked great. The same, like we said, Starlight Kid, that 5-star Grand Prix did Starlight Kid some greatness, and she's coming out and she's even better, I would say, than going into the 5-star. This match was great. I literally cannot wait for the second one. And there's not much we can really talk about because the match ended in a double countout, and the match more served as a appetizer and an appetizer to the bigger thing. So I'm excited when that will happen. Right. I wouldn't be surprised if when it happens is eventually like some sort of no DQ gimmick. Just because it's 080 tie and Momo's got some heat, and also 080 tie is 080 tie, but maybe it'll get saved for I forget the name of the show at the end of the year.
I could see them do that. I could definitely see Stardom Dream Queendom. I forget the name once in a while. I think that could be their potential yearly show from now on, which I think it should be because it's like a good spot. It's during the Japan like holiday season too.
They're definitely saving it as if it is.
Yeah, and it's a good name to run with, moving forward.
Mm-hmm. That or Kawasaki Super Wars. That's really the big name that you would.
Well, we do love Super Wars. Like, Super Wars is a great name. We have Tokyo Super Wars in a couple weeks because Super Wars is the best. But yeah, good match.
SWA Undisputed World's Women title match and the 5-star Grand Prix contract match. It's a briefcase in this promotion. Shuri defeating Azumi in 13 minutes and 22 seconds.
Me and my friend call this one of the best matches you'll watch where you don't care at all. And that's not a shot at either one, but there wasn't any shot in hell that Azumi was winning this match. There was not a single second in this match where I was like, oh, like they never like got to the point of like making the drama even like put possible, and I'll get to the main event of how like it's completely different. I love Azumi. Shuri's Shuri, like this, I can't say many great
Shuri's great.
I can't say I've already said so much great things about Shuri this year. They've had 3 matches this year. They've all been very good. No complaints.
I was kind of light on this match. I thought Azumi was I don't know. I thought Azumi was.
They had her offensive more than I expected them to.
Yeah,
which is weird.
But I think it felt like the beginning of the match. It took a little bit for them to get together, which was weird because this obviously isn't the first match they've had.
Yeah.
But then once it clicked, it was like, okay, we're back into it. It's good.
Yeah. They're trying to change it up, which is understandable. You have 3 matches in 1 year.
Yeah.
You want to make it different. And I will say all 3 of them were different. This was not my favorite of the 3. I know some people, feel the other way, and that's fine.
Yeah.
But wrestling is subjective. But very enjoyable match.
Yeah, totally. And I think this is a serviceable match as we get more and more closer to the end of the year.
Yeah, it continues to move up Azumi in the card too, which is good.
I didn't write it down. Did anyone come after the match, the challenge, Shuri? I didn't write this down.
Yes, Hameka. So they're gonna probably destroy each other because Hameka likes to throw people with her power bomb, and Shuri is again Shuri.
Yeah, that should be a real good match. Wonder of Stardom title match: Tam Nakano defeating Unagi Sayaka. 21 minutes.
I want to hear your thoughts about this one. I'm very interested.
Let me remember,
because this is a match that if you don't watch as much Joshi as like maybe I do, you might have not loved it. But at the same time, I'll just wait to see what you say.
Well, I think the match is pretty good. It was obviously, we talked about it as in the preview that this match was kind of servicing as Unagi stepping up, coming out of the future Stardom and going into this.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a bold step up in terms of going out of the future to going into the Wonder of Stardom title division. But if anyone was going to get her there, I think Nakano was the person to get her there. We've talked about it again, that I think it's well known, that when she has something she's intrigued, she steps up. And I think she stepped up in this match. I think the two of them put on a really good match. I don't think it was great. I think it was really good. There was like spots, I didn't write them down. I should have written them down. But there was a couple spots in here that I loved. I'm trying to remember if it was
the Blade Runner on the apron.
Yes.
Or when she had Tam hanging on the apron.
Yes. Like they did some really good stuff in here. Like I said, both, Unagi had something to prove, and Nakano was a great dance partner to have that happen. So I thought this match was really, really good.
I think this was probably the best match of Unagi's career.
Ooh.
And I mean, so she's had some really good matches, but most of them have been her just getting destroyed. Like Julia destroyed her once and Mayu destroyed her once, and those were great matches. But it's because, she like had minimal offense and was just getting wrecked. Like when it comes to a match that she had a good amount of offense, she, stepped up in the biggest of ways. Like she is an absolute star. I can't deny that. Like I understand why Stardom wants to get behind Unagi, like long term. It makes all the sense. But I think Tam helped elevate her. And at the end of the day, when you have these matches, that's what you want. You want elevation. You want the two competitors to come out of it better than they went into it. And for me, the last 2 matches of the show really did that for them.
Yeah, and I would agree. I think this match was really good. I mean, I don't know what else to say about it. It was just like, is exactly what it needed to be, which was a good match that allowed Unagi to look good and to look like a viable future star for Stardom.
Yeah.
And I think
that's a good way to look at it.
It's this match. Unagi was not going to win this, right? I mean, that's not going to happen, especially with everything moving forward. But
when she hit her finisher, that was the only time the fear hit in because no one had kicked out of it. And I was like,
But it also goes to show that no one's kicked out of her finisher before, but that's because of what division she was in. Now that she's stepping up into.
Well, Tam didn't kick out of it in the 5-star. That's why I was scared.
Oh, that's a good point.
Good match.
But it was a good match. I think it was a good elevation for her, and I'm interested to see what happens moving forward.
And then after the match, Mina made the challenge. So, I just wanted you to make sure you got your thing in.
Ooh, baby. Macho man loves me some Mina Shirakawa. She's the cream of the crop. Rising up in the Cosmic Angels faction.
We still need to get to Full Gear, which is like another 30-minute conversation. So moving on.
Utami Hayashishita defeating Hazuki in the World of Stardom title match. I thought this match was great. Hazuki is back. Hazuki is... What's great about Hazuki is that she has such confidence and fluidity despite being away for however many years.
She's gone for pretty much 2.
Yeah, but it looks like she hasn't lost a step. It looks like she's gotten better, honestly.
Yeah, it's terrifying.
It is like she is someone that is going to raise a lot of ships, if that makes sense. She is someone that is going to be a great part of this. And, she's like, like we said, I don't think World of Stardom title is anywhere near her anytime soon, if at all. But, she is someone that is like, to put it in a weird way, she is like the Bryan Danielson, CM Punk to AEW in the sense of like, they're great. They're going to make other people great. And that is their job. And I don't think they'll win a title anytime soon, but they're here to make other people look great. Yeah. And Hazuki made Utami look great.
Yes. And that's really what she was in this match for. And I was talking about how, when you have a match, you want the two competitors to come out better than they were going into it.
Yeah.
And for a match where the finish was a guarantee, they made you believe throughout the match that maybe, just maybe, Hazuki could win this. The 2 near falls of the match with the brain buster and then the quick roll up, those were spectacular. And I think Utami is one of the best at making those near falls happen with the last, millisecond of a kick out. I think the way you looked at Hazuki was great. As someone that pretty much wrote an entire is my new column thing that I do, and I pretty much wrote about Hazuki the entire time just because she had that good of a week, which she liked, by the way. So just saying, Hazuki, I think she was going into the match, and a lot of people wondered, would she be able to get fully back to where she was? And I think a lot of us can agree she was not only fully back, but she might be better than ever.
Yeah.
And Utami benefited from that because Utami was able to, overcome that, have these great last second kickouts. It just, you want to keep bolstering your title reign.
Yes.
As a champion. And I thought this was the perfect match to do that. They didn't go the, 75-25 route that kind of Utami had with Takumi. They went 50-50. These two were just going back and forth. And it was a great main event.
Yeah.
It checked all the boxes of what you're trying to achieve. And that's just the best.
And that's kind of like also what Stardom is doing and kind of what we've talked about throughout this review of Stardom's Super Wars. Stardom right now they're hitting a lot of expectations, which is, obviously you would love to,
it's hard,
you would love to exceed expectations. And that's the hard part.
They definitely did for this show because no one expected a lot from it.
Yeah.
But yes.
But it hit expectations. Is like everything that Stardom does, they hit their purpose. They hit what they're trying to do perfectly, in my opinion. And that to me,
good
as a fairly new viewer of Stardom, as someone that's trying to get in Stardom, everything is Shirakawa style. You want that's how you get confidence in your audience to understand that this is what the show is, this is what this promotion's about, and helps me get more invested in it when I know that I can rely on it.
Yeah,
I think that's the big winner here.
I think that's a good way to look at it, especially for someone in your view. You watch the big shows and you try to connect the dots here and there, and that's a good sign that they're hitting on those goals, checkpoints, whatever you want to call them, because at the end of the day, then it gives you an idea of where they're going. And AEW is the biggest company of the year, but if you look at the entire wrestling landscape, Stardom is the number 2 in terms of just rising up, which is really good for them.
Yes.
And so let's do Full Gear. I just want to say, before we do Full Gear, which will close our show, Battle in the Valley looks to be a good card. Jay White, Ishii, Okada, Buddy Matthews. I truly don't remember the rest of the card.
Ospreay. The rest of I'll just read it real quickly. Ospreay, Ren Narita, Connors and Fredericks versus Cobb and TJP. Coughlin, Zane, Finley, Rosser, and Romero versus Team Filthy. Brody King and Chris Dickinson versus Bateman and Mysterio. I wonder if we'll have any Ring of Honor people show up. Moose versus Juice. Josh Alexander versus Yuya Imura. Which that could be really
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
It's a good show.
Easily a good show.
This should have a lot of under the radar matches that deliver. So that should be a good show.
It's just a shame that it's going head to head with AEW Full Gear. And that's how we transition into the final topic of the day. AEW Full Gear doing their show out of Minneapolis, Minnesota. It was originally supposed to be last Saturday, yesterday.
Supposed to be yesterday.
But because of a UFC event, they pushed it to the next week.
Good. They knew I had work yesterday, and they said, you know what? We'll move it to the next week when you can watch it live. And I was like, thanks, Tony.
They're feeling for you. They're feeling for you. They're doing the best to be a part of it all. So let us preview this jam-packed card. I don't think there is a single match on this card that I am not invested in now that I'm looking at it. But
there is one for me, but we'll get to that.
Probably imagine what that is. AEW World Title match: Kenny Omega versus Adam Page. Will it happen, Scotty? Will it happen?
You just absolutely messed up my brain because I never hear Adam Page. I always hear Hangman Page, and when you said Adam, I was about to go, and then I was like, wait a minute,
Adam Page.
I think this has to be it.
Yeah.
I think AEW is smart enough where you don't pull swerves here. You don't not deliver on a it's a promise without being a promise. They have built Hangman Page up since the moment they had their introductory press conference.
I was going to say the moment when they revealed the AEW logo on the Adam Page's phone.
Hangman Page said, I would be the first AEW World Champion. That didn't happen. He failed in the match, is what it is. He moved on. The story they have developed here has been one of the best in wrestling in a very long time. It's been a story of you have to follow closely, but if you are, it's great. It is long-term storytelling at its best. And him facing Omega in the main event of the show where they faced off last year, this is everything you want in a pro wrestling main event. Again, like, you want them to come out of it better than they were, but more than anything, Hangman Page, your new AEW World Champion, and do not listen to what Louis Dangor said about, no, we're not doing that. This is Hangman Page's time. I say you give him a nice 150 to 200 day reign, then he can lose the title. But it's about this moment. Everything is about this moment.
Sorry, I just have to update the text here. What are his colors? I guess this. Yeah, I guess this works. Yeah, no. I think it is a dead ringer that this match is going to have Hangman Adam Page win this. I think like WWE brain makes you think like, oh, they'll go for the heat, which is Kenny Omega winning it. But I think this is one of those matches where it is worse to have. It's a bad idea. Not even like don't do it for heat. It's like it's a bad idea to have Hangman lose. So I think it's a certified lock that Hangman has to win here. The
Mhm.
question is, will the match be great? I don't remember what I thought about for last year's match. I think I thought last year's match was like pretty good, but it felt like they were like leaving something. So I felt like this match is obviously they're going to put everything out on the line. I think this match has to be great. I think Kenny Omega obviously is someone that can make it great. I think Hangman Adam Page, like I said, I think he has to have a great match to really start off this thing. It's very much like a Naito feeling with Hangman Adam Page, where it's like he has to deliver, he has to win, all these things have to happen, and if they don't happen, then that would be a bad idea. So I think it's a certified lock.
I have all the confidence this delivers.
Yeah.
I don't think he's ever hit the buckshot lariat on Omega.
Oh.
So they've saved that moment for this.
Or at least
or does he kick out? Does he kick out of the one-winged angel?
No.
I wouldn't do it.
I don't
think it's necessary.
I think if you do it,
do it the way Okada did it with the foot on the rope.
Yes. I think that would be the best thing to do. I don't think you get him, because let's be honest, Hangman is not on an Okada level or even an Ibushi level. Let's be honest. Hangman can easily, though, get his foot or his hand on the bottom rope, and I think that would be that'd be a huge ass pop. I think that's got to be a moment you have in the match. I think this match has got to be great. I think Hangman's obviously going to win it. So one of those matches where you can't do a lot of preview because it just feels so much like a lock. But all I know is that I'm super excited for it. AEW Women's World Title match. Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, defending her title against Tay Conti.
Well, we found the match that I have no connection to.
Really?
And it's sad for me because, you know, I'm a big proponent. Women's wrestling is great. Yeah. I don't like this feud at all. It hasn't really been a feud to me. Like the other day when Thunder Rosa ran down to the ring, I was like, oh, here we go. And then I'm like, oh, wait, we're not doing Britt versus Thunder Rosa. We're not doing that. We're doing Thunder Rosa versus Jamie Hayter, which should be great, by the way. And
I'm really excited for that match, by the way.
I'm happy that Tay Conti has a big match. I'm very happy because I think she deserves this. You know, she's not going to win the title, but it's a good title match for her.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a tough time getting excited for a Britt Baker match where I don't think the opponent is going to elevate or be safe enough for this to be a good match, if that makes sense. And I think Tay Conti's good, but I don't think she's at the point where, you know, Chris Statlander Britt had a great match. I don't know if Tay Conti's even at the Chris Statlander level yet, but I think going in with the lower expectations, I could be happily surprised with what happens. And that's, you know, sometimes better than going in with high expectations.
Yeah, I think I can agree with that. Is that our big concern has always been in regards to Britt Baker is that Britt is not necessarily someone that's going to elevate someone, but if there's someone that is better than Britt Baker, then Britt can elevate to that level. The question is, where is Tay Conti? Where is she in her training? Where is she in her skill? She's definitely way better than she was at the Performance Center. She's gotten better and better as the months go on. So I think I'm going to expect a really good match here. That's my expectation. What's your, let me ask this. What is your star ceiling and floor? What do you think the range
Ceiling?
is? Yeah.
3.5.
And what's the floor?
1.
It just devolves into bad.
Like I could see it be very choppy, which I'm hoping it's not. And I think 3.5 might be even a little too high.
I think 3.5 is feasible. I think I'm have a really good match.
I think if they hit on all cylinders, there's no choppiness, and they just, you know, have a solid match, we get to that. But I'm very worried. I won't lie to you, just because it feels like a Dynamite defense.
Yeah.
Like, Tai Conchi hasn't mattered on TV.
I think that's the bigger
enough.
issue. I think that's the big issue is how the women's division is that if you're just watching Dynamite and Rampage, you're like, okay, cool. Tai Conti. Yeah.
Sure.
And you're like, and you're not like super jazzed. I mean, to be fair, I guess, that we still have a Dynamite and a Rampage before Full Gear. So who the hell knows? You know, we're reviewing this before the actual go home shows. So they could easily ramp it up even further. And that 6-man can show us more confidence in Tai Conti. But I think
I just remembered Reba's wrestling.
She's, I think, 100% eating that pin. Yeah, but I mean, I'm intrigued to see it. I think also Britt Baker's suffering from the Britt Baker championship reign is suffering from the
let's get to Thunder Rosa already.
Yes. Yeah. Honestly, I think that's like, the issue.
That pop was great the other day when her music hit, and like, because it felt like that was the rivalry, because it is the rivalry, and I understand why they're holding off, but they haven't gave me anything to enjoy during that time. Like, I didn't think the Britt versus Ruby Soho match was very good, and Ruby Soho is better than Tai Conchi. So that's why I'm worried.
I get where you're coming from. I completely get where you're coming from. Well, I guess we'll only be able to find out. I think
and the feud is strictly based off Anna Jay, so that's also a problem.
Yeah.
Which we know you hate because, you know, Jungle Boy.
Jungle Man. Have you seen that beard?
Jungle Man.
AEW World Tag Team Title match: Lucha Brothers, Penta and El Zero Miedo, and Rey Fenix defending the titles against the AAA Tag Team Champions, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood.
I believe you meant to say that is the greatest Lucha tag team of all time.
No, what I actually meant to say is what Dax Hardwood's name is on the AEW action figure packaging. Dax Hardwood.
Yeah, I thought that was his name for about 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah, many people did. I think this match has all the potential to be really good. I think this has potential to be a great match. I mean, honestly, I think
they left so many things open in their first match. Like, they, of course, they meant to do that. Like, I don't think they did nearly half of what they could.
Yeah.
The Lucha Brothers, to me, probably the best tag team right now in wrestling. For me, most enjoyable in terms of just like what they deliver time and time again. You know, Phoenix is psychotic. Penta is Penta. I don't like Penta's just a different being all around. And then there's FTR, who, you know, some do think is the best tag team in wrestling as well.
Yeah.
2 different styles, but we've seen FTR have a great match against someone with their type of style, not just high flying. You know, they had a great match with the Young Bucks a year ago at Full Gear.
LAX.
And LAX. Well, yeah, I forgot they even feuded because that was such a weird feud. But even going back past, you know, AEW time, they had a match with DIY, which, I mean, that was amazing. Match with American Alpha. Like, FTR has a good resume of great tag team matches against great teams. Feels like this is going to be another one.
Yeah, I think they are good, a good base to have in any sort of wrestling match. And then you sprinkle on top of that one of the best tag teams in the world right now today. The recipe only makes a good meal, right? It's going to be great. You know, Styles makes fights. You know, that's the whole idea. I am
hungry.
Here.
Thanks for asking.
Yeah, I was when I said the recipe makes the meal. For some reason, I pictured spaghetti. I don't know why. I legit don't know why I pictured spaghetti.
Oh, by the way, Lucha Bros win. And Britt Baker wins also. We never actually like said that. I think we're just literally previewing the show.
Yes.
Like, we're not even predicting.
Yes.
But I feel like a lot of these are like, yeah.
So Lucha Bros win and then eventually challenge FTR in Mexico for the AAA tag team titles and then win those back?
Probably.
That would make sense.
Will we ever see that? Yeah, they could do it at a Triple Mania Regia or whatever the hell it's called.
Wherever that Kenny Omega El Hijo del Vikingo match is happening.
Yeah, which is airing live. I heard.
Can't wait. Maybe that's what it is. FTR is the spaghetti of wrestling. They're exactly what you need at any given moment. FTR.
Interesting.
Spaghetti.
FTR.
I'm gonna let that season. I'm gonna let that idea season. I don't know if it's perfect yet, but I'm just gonna think about it. MJF versus Darby Allin singles match.
Nope, this is definitely the match that I meant. There was 2 matches on this show.
You are not invested in this match?
No.
Why not?
I'm so uninvested in MJF right now. I wish I could care because like I get he's good at promo, yada yada yada. The Pillar stuff is like nauseating to me. The other day when he said that this company couldn't do anything without us, I legitimately laughed out loud. I was like, yeah, okay. If this company didn't have MJF and Darby Allin, whatever would they do? I will say I like their brawl. I like their brawl a lot. I thought that was a good way to build it.
Yes.
And I really liked, randomly, I really liked MJF's match with Sammy Guevara a few months back. Like, I thought that was one of his best matches. So I'm not saying I'm like totally out on it, but when you look at the rest of the card, you look at the stories that are going on AEW television, this is very much, towards the bottom of the totem pole for me. Oh, never mind. I like this match so much more than the 10-man tag that I just remembered. Oh, never mind. Oh,
I was about to say.
What are they doing to me?
I think what you're also kind of alluding to is I think what most people feel about MJF, in that is that we are still, I'll say it, rebuilding MJF after the Chris Jericho Inner Circle stuff.
Yeah, I think I'm still trying to recover from that.
Yeah.
Personally.
I'm in the same boat. I don't think... Sometimes when AEW does long-term storytelling, what they do, like they'll do long-term storytelling in the sense of Adam Page, right? And doing these 3-year-long thing. But sometimes a long-term storytelling in AEW is just a year-long thing where we're doing the same thing every year, every single week, forever. And they just can't think of something new or exciting angle.
Which is pretty much the Inner Circle as a whole.
Inner Circle was that. FTW versus Darby was that. Every single week it was like we'll have Sting come out and talk. And then Taz will interrupt.
Sting!
Yeah.
I started to get so annoyed by hearing it's Sting.
Yeah. So I think collectively we're trying to rebuild MJF in a weird way. And I think the Darby match can do it. I think I'm interested. I think what the more interesting to me about this match is that I'm interested to see what the two of them can do together in a match. It was kind of like the Darby Sammy match, where it's like I'm intrigued about what this match could be or what could it look like, and that's really what's selling me on what this match will be.
Yeah, that's very fair. That's very fair. I'm in agreement. By the way, winner MJF. He lost the Jericho match. I feel like he needs to win way more than Darby probably needs to. Darby can lose and not lose anything. Can they have MJF lose again?
Can MJF lose because of Wardlow? I feel like we're not there yet, though. I feel like storyline wise, we're not there yet. I'm gonna say Darby wins it. I'm gonna say Darby wins this match. I feel like Darby has good momentum behind him, and then maybe he can be an eventual challenger for something down the line. Ooh, yeah, because if MJF wins it, then what are we going to do with MJF moving forward? And it's not going to be TNT title.
This feud would probably go on for another couple weeks.
That's probably true.
Feels like the MJF way.
That's true. Six-man tag team Falls Count Anywhere match. Jungle Boy, Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage taking on Adam Cole, Matt, and Nick Jackson. Super Click.
This is gonna be great. It's just gonna be so ridiculous. It's gonna be so much fun. Adam Cole, over like Rover. The Young Bucks. I'm just happy they combined it. I was worried they were going to do a singles and a tag, and I was like, I do not want to watch Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus versus the Young Bucks again. I just don't. No part of me wants to see that again. And I mean, Christian and Adam Cole's a good match, but you can just put that on TV. Super Click, not Super Click. Yeah, Super Click. That's what they're called. I'm very excited to see the crazy shit they do, because they're going to do the Young Bucks are going to do some nuts. Jungle Boy is probably going to do something nuts. We've seen it already. Jungle Boy getting tossed through the table. They're doing the splash off the stage. They did a concerto on Cole.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot to go here. I saw someone call it a PWG spot fest, potentially, probably. I mean, it feels like a potential match for that, and I'm okay with that. Because this is the type of match you want to put in the middle of your show or opening the show, to get the crowd hot.
Yeah,
it'll be fun. And Super Click, by the way.
No, yeah, I am very intrigued to see what this match is going to look like. I'm very intrigued to see how Christian is in this match, more so.
Yeah, because he's not a spot fest type of guy.
No,
which is funny because he was in all the TLC matches, but he's not.
No, the fact I could see this match being a super spot fest, but Christian being in it is going to be a interesting dynamic, to say the least. I think I'll say it, for the love of God, have Jungle Boy win this match and be the one that pins somebody, please, for the love of God. I'm gonna say it. We got
Super Click can definitely lose. They probably should lose.
Yeah,
honestly,
I think they should.
I think this would be a perfect match to give Jungle Boy a pin.
Yes.
And he should pin a Young Buck, not Adam Cole.
Yes. Super easy to do. Super easy to do. So let's just do it. Let's do it. And then give him a singles win after that. Why not we?
No. That's not how this works. That's not how this works, Ryan. You can't ask for that much.
CM Punk taking on Eddie Kingston. Boy, inject that promo battle into my veins, right?
If there's like anything that you have high expectations for, and it delivers, and then somehow over delivers, it's this.
Yeah,
it's this.
Yeah.
Man, I love these two. Eddie Kingston brought out the CM Punk people were waiting for.
Yep.
He brought out the other side of CM Punk. Eddie Kingston, on the other hand, is just hitting on all cylinders right now. His match with Danielson was the launching point to this, the little lead up of Danielson saying, I don't want your laziness. I want the best Kingston, which is kind of what Punk is talking about now. In that feud. The promo battle, it sold the match. It sold us a match we were already sold on, if that makes sense. That's how good of a sales pitch these two had on Rampage. I cannot wait for this match. CM Punk's chest is going to be a bloody red mess. Eddie Kingston is going to face the wrath of, I think, maybe the best version of Punk we have seen, which is saying a lot because I don't think we've seen a bad version of Punk. This has a chance to steal the show, because I think when it comes to the match itself, people don't have as high expectations as they did for the promo stuff. But these two can go. These two can tell a story. These two are old-fashioned in a lot of ways. So this should be great.
Totally. I think the CM Punk we're going to get the best CM Punk match probably in this company. Eddie Kingston's great. It definitely felt like they were building up to a Punk Danielson versus Mox and Kingston.
Yeah.
that the storylines all converge quite nicely.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's what they were leaning towards. But obviously, things happen.
I think we could get multiple Kingston Punk matches now.
Yeah, or at the very least, more Kingston Danielson matches.
I would definitely not say no to that.
Or maybe you get Kingston gets a tag team partner that isn't Mox. We introduce a third person into this group, and maybe that's Darby.
Maybe.
No. Darby and Punk have things, so maybe
Kingston ain't getting booed anytime soon, so it's not even like he's heel.
Kingston was getting boos. What are you talking about? Kingston turned it around by telling the crowd, "Hey, yeah, no one wants Punk here.
Well,
get out."
Well, yeah, he was getting cheered big time, and then he said the thing about Punk, and they were like, "All right, time out." No.
Kingston knows how to turn it. Kingston knows how to turn the crowd.
Yeah, I mean, I just think it's not heel versus babyface. It's just two dudes going at it in what should be a great wrestling match. I can't wait. Hopefully they have one more little promo battle or, video to get this hyped up, because I just want more of it.
Yeah. Let's do another promo or something, because just get even more insane with it. 10-man tag team street fight, the Inner Circle.
This match.
Chris Jericho, Jake Hager, Sammy Guevara, Santana, and Ortiz taking on the selected team from America Top Team: Scorpio Sky, Ethan Page, Junior Dos Santos, Andrea Arlovsky, and of course, Dan Lambert. Any thoughts, Scotty?
Who cares? Who cares about this match? Who cares about American Top Team? Who cares about Inner Circle? I could tell you the answer. Not me. I do not want to watch this match. I do not care about this match. I have not cared about any of this feud. I have not cared about America Top Team since the moment Dan Lambert stepped in AEW. I remember Lance Archer beat him up, and that was it. And then we just acted like Lance Archer never did anything.
Where is Lance, by the way?
He landed on his head.
Yeah.
Right. It should be fine, he said, but probably giving him some time off. I don't care about this. This match would be 10 times more exciting if they put Paige Van Zandt in the match. And no, it's not because of her looks. It's because she would actually probably kick their asses, and that would have been awesome.
There's definitely going to be a moment in this match where Paige Van Zandt just beats the crap out of
she's punching Jericho. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
I don't care. I mean, Inner Circle wins probably because they didn't win the last time. They lost to Paige, Scorpio, and Junior Dos Santos. So I guess they probably win here.
The issue with Inner Circle is that they should have ended when
the Inner Circle.
They should have
ended. It's just so useless. I don't know why Jake Hager's here. He did something like Popeye the other day that I wanted to just shut my TV off and move on. AEW is so lucky.
I was listening to a podcast and they said that when Jake Hager did the Sammy not the Popeye bit, they were like, I feel like that's probably racist. I don't know if it is, but it felt racist.
Felt it. I don't care about any of this. I want Santana Ortiz to just run away from the Inner Circle and never talk about them again, because they've been wasted for, when did they sign at All Out? The first All Out? Yeah, they've been wasted since then, pretty much. So I'm done. I'm done with the Inner Circle. Just please stop.
I think the Inner Circle has outstayed its welcome. I think that's what we're
overstayed its welcome.
Thank you. Overstayed its welcome. I think that's what we're really talking about. I feel like American Top Team is gonna win this match. I think Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page need something. I kind of like the American Top Team angle. I'm not gonna say anything, but I kind of like it. I think it's kind of good. Good old school.
Interesting. Heat. I think you just got canceled by me.
First it was what was it? It was Yo. First it was Yo. Then it was the
Koguma. You attack Koguma, and now you're liking American Top Team. Here's my comparison of what I envision American Top Team as. They're the Baron Corbin of AEW to me. It is the most unbelievably bad part of my television show every week. And I guess that's because everything else on AEW is like really good for me. So like I just don't care about this guy that likes to yell and then get called a stupid face dipshit or whatever the fuck he gets called. Like to me, it's just all childish every single week, and I don't care. Like what Lambert was trying to do originally of being, this heel guy that hates wrestling, great. But they just I hate it. But you like it, so you know what? You can just talk about it and we can move on.
I like the American Top Team aspect of it. I don't like that it's American Top Team versus Inner Circle aspect because, like I said, Inner Circle is outstanding. I think Inner Circle is the weak part in this rivalry. Does that make sense to you?
The Inner Circle is like the weak part of AEW right now, so yeah, that makes sense.
I think the Inner Circle is the weak part of this rivalry, and I am more interested. I like the idea of American Top Team. I am more interested in seeing them against other people. See how they interact with other aspects. Like maybe like
they hear something sad.
I want to see them interact with Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus. I want to see that. That's what I want to see.
Oh, really? I want to see them never be on my TV again, which is very interesting. You know what's sad? The last wrestling show I went to, which was a long time ago, was when the Inner Circle officially formed.
There we go. And DC, right?
No, that's when Jake Hager debuted. And it was the next week where like, we're the Inner Circle. Yeah. And that's when I was there.
Hey.
Yeah.
And now here you are.
And now here I am. I want them to just be gone.
Yeah. It's been rough. AEW.
Well, because they don't need each other anymore.
They don't. They really don't. And that's the most frustrating aspect is that they don't.
The whole point of the group was to feud with the Elite.
Yeah.
I don't know if they know this anymore, but that Elite has been completely morphed since then. Like Hangman's left, Cody just kind of scooted out, and then they had that match with Matt Hardy in it.
Yeah, they're not. They need to figure out something else, and I think either some changes in the group, some faction swapping, or not swapping, but faction changes, or just completely dismantle the group or something. I don't know. Anyways, AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament Finals. This is the one last thing. Bryan Danielson taking on Miro. Obviously, as we said before at the top of the show, this match more than likely would have been Bryan Danielson versus Moxley, but due to him focusing on his alcoholic tendencies, I guess, it's now we officially we fly in Miro to beat up and defeat Orange Cassidy, and now we're gonna get Miro versus Bryan Danielson. Miro is one of the best characters in all of AEW right now, and Bryan Danielson is one of the best match workers in all of AEW right now. I fully expect this match to be amazing.
Yeah.
The problem is that this match cannot be better than the world title match.
Yeah, tell Danielson that. That's not part of his current mission. It's funny. I have an article actually coming out in like 17 minutes about Danielson, like his return and like how everything he does is just him trying to prove something to like, well, no one ever questioned if he was the best, but like it feels like he heard enough people say he wasn't anymore, and now he's like angry and is just doing everything in his power to remind people, listen, I can have a great match with Anthony Bowens, okay, buddy? I can have a great match with literally anyone. So
give me somebody. Give me Fuego. We're gonna have a 4-star classic.
We got Rocky Romero this week, which should be very fun. But this match is going to be so good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not this massive Miro fan when it comes to his in-ring work. I think his promo work is amazing. Don't get me wrong, but Miro can go.
Yeah,
I think Miro can go when the opponent's right, and I don't think Danielson's not going to be right for him. I think Danielson's right for everyone. He changes his style for everyone. I like the idea of Miro winning here. I like that idea. I think having Danielson and CM Punk be undefeated forever isn't necessarily a need for AEW. They don't need to be undefeated. Danielson more makes sense being undefeated, I think, than CM Punk. If that makes sense.
Yes.
Because he wants to be the best wrestler in the world, and the best wrestler in the world wants to win at all costs, and not all costs, but he wants to win in all these different ways and show that he can beat anyone in any way. But I think giving Miro that win, making him the first challenger for Hangman Page, not a bad first feud for the Hangman if he wins the title. But Bryan Danielson in another big match. Come on now. Who says no to that? Who says no?
Yeah, it should be stated that since the entire world...
I always thought Mox was beating him.
Mox would have beaten Danielson?
I always thought that. Because I thought Mox was going heel.
Too, yeah.
Yes.
Against... Yeah.
By the way, Mox is never going to be heel again.
Yeah, they have to delay that because that's going to be hard.
They're going to have to delay that big time.
If anyone,
the moment he comes back...
If anyone's going to be able to do it, it's Mox.
Yeah.
But
they're going to have to put a hold on that. He's not going to just walk back in and be taking out Hangman Pit. Well, that'd actually be pretty good if he did that. That'd actually be pretty sick. I guess you could do that, but I feel like people are going to want to cheer him no matter what.
Adam Page versus John Moxley would have probably been a great idea, because then you could do the Winter's Coming gimmick again, and then it's now it's Kenny Omega's in it, and he's you know what I mean, last year
the roles were flipped in a sense.
Yeah. So it fate has course corrected in a way. But now that it's not, would you rather see Page versus Danielson or Page versus Miro?
Would I rather see Page versus Danielson just as a wrestling aspect? Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think Miro and Hangman could have a good story, because Miro is, this destroyer, this unbeatable force. He just beat Bryan Danielson. That means Hangman Page's title reign is going to come to an end short, quick, instantly. And then I think, the way you can build it up is he can actually win with the Deadeye. Because they're telling that story of Miro's neck, and you can actually have Hangman win with the Deadeye to further that story. Because I think that's a very good little thing with Miro. He's this unbeatable force, but if you attack his neck,
his Achilles heel,
which should be the Achilles heel for anyone, because ow. But I think if you built that story Miro can't lose via buckshot lariat, but if you hit the Deadeye, that's your last line of defense of sorts.
Yeah, and then he has to pick up the gargantuan mass that is Miro, the massive mass of Miro, if you will.
I like the Deadeye too. So
the Deadeye will be a great spot. I actually really like that idea. I do think that's not even the conversation. The sexier match is Danielson match. But I like the idea of...
It is.
I'm intrigued by it. I'm intrigued. I could see them going of Danielson winning and then going Danielson versus Page. Obviously, because, who wouldn't want to book that? But Miro is very intriguing. Miro is very intriguing. And then you can have him lose again and have Page do a match. I think that a good idea is to have Danielson win it, just so that the first title defense is a great match that Page wins. And but then you don't have Danielson beating Page down the line potentially, which is also maybe something you want to do, because you don't want to put the title on Danielson just yet.
I think great story over great match for the first is best, unless the great match wasn't Danielson. I think you want to leave that open.
If the great match of Danielson and Page was happening at a pay-per-view, I would have maybe said that. But since it's for television,
I don't think I understand AEW gives away a lot of matches because of their TV deal. They don't give away matches, but like they put them on TV. They don't put them all on. Hangman versus Danielson, I don't think is one you do on TV.
We say that, but they also did Omega versus Danielson on TV. You know,
well, this is true, but that was like their biggest show ever. To be fair,
and
like,
not a title match
capacity. So
and not a title.
It's different, right? Like they still have Kenny versus Danielson in their back pocket because that wasn't a title match. There wasn't a winner, so like they know what they're doing.
Yeah, you're right. They know what they're doing. All right. Well, that is it for the show. We've been going for almost 2.5 hours.
I have a headache, so I'm happy this is over.
We could have easily gone Battle in the Valley longer if we did a 3-hour show, but we're not there yet. We're not flagship material yet.
No, but good news. Next week we get to review both. We'll review both. We'll review Battle in the Valley. We'll review All Out. And I don't know how the hell I'm going to watch Battle in the Valley before this recording, but I'm going to do my best.
I don't know either. We'll figure it out, I guess.
Probably just toss in the last couple matches and call it a day.
Yeah. I mean, we'll probably also talk about a little bit maybe of the winner of the GCW NGI 6. And then preview Survivor Series, maybe an Impact Turning Point. Ooh, baby.
All right, we'll definitely preview Survivor Series. I don't know about Turning Point. Dude, Impact's in the doghouse for me, so
that's fair.
And I'm really upset that Ring of Honor, just got up and left because don't. Impact still has a sour taste in my mouth.
Well, we're at the end of the show. Time for plugs, and instead of matches of the week, it's the end of the month. Matches of the month. Scotty.
You could have, told me that before.
I didn't. Don't worry. I can stall for you because that's the plan. Scotty and I've been doing this thing where we've been trying to watch the most matches in the year, and Scotty's like super winning. So the current score at the end of October is Scotty has seen 2,566 matches, and
that's too many.
And I have seen 2,185. I was able to watch in the month of October 291 matches from October, and Scotty watched 258. So I watched more matches than him in that month. But like I said, Scotty is still beating me overall, which I don't like. It's a difference of 381 matches. I saw 17 different promotions. Scotty saw 14. It was a light month for Scotty. Coming down, I
had so many different promotions in there, and then I was like, I don't feel like watching this.
Oh yeah. But it was a light month for you, but you're starting to probably pick up a little bit. But I'm catching up. That's my goal. My goal is to catch up. I don't know if I will be able to do it. But
if you can pick up 300 matches in 2 months, then bravo.
I ran the math. I have the numbers. Basically, I need to watch nearly 400 matches in 1 month for the next 3 months, or the next 2 months.
Oh my god!
It's based off of the average number of matches you see every month, plus what I have, and all that. What is how many matches I need left to win, and then plus your average matches. I need to see basically 384 matches in 1 month.
I don't even know if this 384 matches worth seeing in 1 month.
Well, we'll find out.
And it's the end of the year. This is when everything stops.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm going to say this. This will be part of my plugs. Is that tonight...
This poor mofo is going to watch so much Tag League.
Tonight, actually, Jesse and I are going to Championship Wrestling from Atlanta.
I promise you I will not be watching that, so have fun.
Yeah, baby. It's got... what were some of the matches announced? It has Alan Angels versus Effie. I'm going to look this up. Carl Fredericks versus AC Mack.
Wow, interesting.
That one legitimately, I'm super excited. I'm legitimately excited. AC Mack is...
Is this your first wrestling event since
COVID?
When? Wow, that's exciting then.
Well, no, I take that back. Because we went to we went to, what's it called? What is it freaking called? Collective. Mikey and I and Zach went to the Collective during the pandemic.
How was that show?
It was good. It was well. We saw a bunch of shows, so it was so a lot.
Well, that is what the Collective is.
I'm trying to load up this card. My girl Rekka Tahaka's gonna be there, so it's gonna be great. Let's see, what do we got here? Doc Gallows is gonna be there.
It is not getting better.
I'm excited for it. It's gonna be decent to good wrestling. Shane Mercer will be there. That's pretty cool. I'm excited for Shane Mercer.
That's the guy that almost killed someone. Didn't actually, but it was terrifying.
Savannah Evans versus Marina Shafir. Baron Black versus Lord Crew, which is sort of a storyline match that they've been doing. Rekka Tahaka versus Heather Monroe. AC Mack versus Carl Fredericks. Alan Angels. Danny Jordan. I'll be honest, I'm not excited about this match. Danny Jordan versus Marty Bell. Anyways, so that's my plugs. I'm going to be there live at Championship Wrestling from Atlanta. So I'm excited to see it. There's a lot of stuff in there that I'm very excited to see. I'm very excited to see some more live wrestling. I complain in the Slack all the time that there's no live wrestling in Atlanta for a long time. And as soon as AEW comes back to Georgia, they go to Duluth of all places, which is an hour and a half away from me. And also on a Wednesday where I get off at work at 7 p.m. So I can't go to that show. I'm super mad about it. But
well,
I can go to the Championship Wrestling from Atlanta tonight.
I like that you did the spin thing again. The macho man spin that has never ended. Well, you get to see Rekka Tahaka. So
yeah, I get to see my girl Rekka Tahaka, and that's
we like Rekka.
Rekka's cool. Great. Rekka's great. So Mike,
to be fair, I did not know she was your girl, but good for you.
She's my girl.
Sure.
So Scotty, do you have any matches for you to recommend from this past month?
Yeah, I do. I put it together. I couldn't figure out the month for a second. Couldn't remember what number of month I was looking at. Figured out 10. Mm-hmm. So I learned that the highest rated match of this past month that I had on my list was for Pro Wrestling Noah, and I got shell-shocked. I got absolutely rattled here. It was Katsuhiko Nakajima versus Kino. I thought that match was tremendous. There was a lot of kicking. I like kicking. They beat the shit out of each other, truthfully. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. The second match, Wrestle Princess 2, Miyu Yamashita versus Maki Ito. Watched that. And the third match, which I did not think was going to go this low on the list, AEW World Title Eliminator Tournament, Bryan Danielson versus Eddie Kingston.
Very nice.
Those three out. Little change up all around. A lot of different wrestling here. And when you watch as many matches as I watched, that Ryan said, because I don't know the number at all, you find a lot of fun in all of that. You also find a lot of bad. So it's those matches that I said that really make it all worth it in the end. But yeah, definitely check those out. Follow me at Scott E Wrestling on Twitter, and that is all my plugs.
Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Neitzey. My 3 matches I'm going to recommend for the month of October. If you have not seen them, definitely go out of your way to watch it. But I would not be surprised if the audience listening to the show have already seen it, because my 3 matches are number 3, 4.5 stars, Hikaru Shida versus Serena Deeb in the TBS World Title Tournament. First round match there. Also 4.5 stars, G1 Climax Night 18, Kizuchi Okada versus Jeff Cobb. I thought that match was outstanding. And finally, number 1 was from the buy-in, Minoru Suzuki versus Bryan Danielson. I thought that match was the best match of the month. It was so good. It is
one. That was my 4th.
That match is one of 5 matches I've rated 4 3/4.
Wow.
And all of those 5 matches are AEW matches.
What a mark.
There's not. Well, I don't have I only have 3 5-star matches this year, and 2 of them are New Japan. One of them's NXT, which will never happen again in NXT.
I know what it is. I know what that is.
Yeah.
Well, it can. NXT UK is not gone. It's not.
It's not. Well, I don't see Walter anytime soon.
And he's wrestling Cesaro right now on the live shows because they hate us and don't like to air good things. They only like to air NXT 2.0.
They want to film. They want to film all of this content, but never air it anywhere.
Yeah, they want to film all this content that's good, and they're just going to air the bad one. Jerks. End the show.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to this week's episode of Ring Post Radio. We greatly appreciate it. If you like what you heard, of course, you can watch the show live on Sunday mornings at twitch.tv/countout, YouTube/countoutpod, Facebook, our Countout Pod Wrestling Facebook page, and Twitter at countoutpod as well. If you'd like to listen to the audio recording, of course, you can listen to that anytime you get wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play, etc., etc., etc. Basically, any app out there. If you, like I said, follow us on Twitter at CountOutPod. Leave a 5-star review for Ring Post Radio on Apple Podcasts. We would greatly appreciate it. And I think that is it. So for Scotty, I'm Ryan. Have a good rest of your week. Have a good, exciting week of wrestling watching. And until next time, we'll talk to you later from Ring Post Radio. Goodbye.